Your thoughts can hold you back, and your doubts can stop you from taking action. What if you could break free from the cycle of overthinking and start taking steps towards success today? In this audiobook, we uncover the simple truth. Success is not about endless planning or waiting for the perfect moment. It's about taking action. Learn the powerful strategies to stop over-analyzing, simplify your approach, and build the momentum that leads to real success. Unlock the freedom to achieve your goals and start doing what you've always dreamed of. Your path to success begins now. Let's take that first step together. Chapter 1. Understanding the Power of Action. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality. It is the one thing that transforms thoughts and intentions into tangible results. Without action, ideas remain just that, ideas. They have no impact, no influence, and no change. The power of action is simple yet profound. It turns your plans into reality. Every achievement, no matter how big or small, starts with a single step forward. This chapter will help you understand why taking action is the most important factor in creating the life you want. Too often, people get stuck in the planning phase, hoping that someday when the conditions are perfect, they will begin. They spend their time overthinking, worrying about potential mistakes, or waiting for the right time. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment to start. The perfect moment is the one you create by taking the first step. Action creates momentum. Once you begin, the path becomes clearer and opportunities begin to unfold. Inaction only keeps you stuck in a place of uncertainty and stagnation. The beauty of action lies in its ability to create results. Even small steps forward lead to progress. You don't need to have everything figured out from the beginning. The key is starting, no matter how imperfect your plan may seem. When you take action, you open doors to learning, growth, and new experiences. Each action, no matter how small, adds up over time, helping you move closer to your goals. Action forces you to face challenges, which helps you grow stronger, more skilled, and more confident as you move forward. The power of action also lies in its ability to shift your mindset. When you take action, you stop being a passive observer of life and become an active participant. You stop thinking and start doing, which changes how you see the world. Every action you take, no matter how simple, builds confidence and reinforces the belief that you are capable of achieving your goals. As you take action, you build momentum, and soon what once seemed impossible becomes achievable. Action also helps you build resilience. The more you do, the more you learn. You'll face obstacles and challenges along the way, but each time you take action, you develop the strength to overcome those hurdles. It is through action that you build the mental toughness needed to keep going, even when things get tough. The road to success is rarely smooth, but taking action gives you the tools and experiences to navigate the bumps along the way. Another powerful aspect of action is that it brings clarity. When you're not sure what to do next, taking action often provides the answers. It helps you understand what works and what doesn't. It allows you to test your ideas in the real world so you can make adjustments and course correct as needed. Without action, you remain in a state of uncertainty, but by taking even small steps, you gain the clarity needed to move forward with confidence. Action is also the antidote to fear and self-doubt. Fear often arises when you're thinking too much about the future or focusing on potential failures. But when you take action, fear loses its power. The act of doing something, even if it's just one small step, reduces the anxiety that comes with uncertainty. The more you act, the less power fear has over you. Action is the ultimate confidence builder because it shows you that you are capable even when fear is present. Ultimately, action is what creates change. Thinking about change and planning for it are important, but nothing happens until you take action. If you want to achieve something, whether it's starting a business, getting fit, or learning a new skill, action is the key. You can read all the books, make all the plans, and dream all you want, but none of that will matter if you don't take action. It's the action that moves you from where you are now to where you want to be. In conclusion, understanding the power of action means recognizing that nothing happens without it. It is the driving force behind every accomplishment and success. By starting, no matter how small, you create momentum, build resilience, and gain the clarity and confidence needed to continue. The power of action is simple, but its impact is immense. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take action now and watch as your life begins to change. Chapter 2. The Dangers of Overthinking and Perfectionism. Overthinking and perfectionism are silent enemies of progress. While they may seem like traits of careful planning or high standards, they often keep us stuck in place, preventing us from moving forward. In this chapter, we'll explore the dangers these habits pose to success and how they create barriers to taking action. The reality is that overthinking and striving for perfection are distractions that prevent us from achieving our goals. They lead to self-doubt, procrastination, and missed opportunities. Overthinking often stems from fear of making the wrong decision, fear of failure, or fear of not being good enough. When you overthink, you start analyzing every detail, every potential outcome, and every possible mistake. This creates a cycle of paralysis where nothing gets done. The more you think about a situation, the less you act on it. Overthinking magnifies the small risks and makes them seem bigger than they really are. Instead of taking action, you stay stuck in your head, thinking and rethinking, which leads to inaction. Perfectionism is another obstacle that stems from fear, but it also comes from a deep desire to meet unrealistic standards. People who struggle with perfectionism often believe that everything must be flawless before they can take action. They feel the pressure to get everything right from the start and worry about making mistakes. This fear of failure often leads to procrastination, as perfectionists feel that nothing they do is ever good enough. Perfectionism sets a standard that is almost impossible to meet, leaving people stuck in an endless loop of trying and redoing, but never completing anything. Both overthinking and perfectionism rob you of the joy of the process. When you overthink or strive for perfection, the focus is always on the outcome. You become so fixated on getting everything perfect that you forget to enjoy the journey. The fear of failure can overshadow the excitement of progress. Instead of feeling a sense of achievement from taking action, you feel discouraged by every small imperfection, making it harder to stay motivated and continue working toward your goals. Another danger of overthinking and perfectionism is that they erode your confidence. When you overanalyze every step, you start questioning your ability to make decisions or take action. The more you think, the more doubt creeps in, making you second-guess yourself at every turn. Perfectionism exacerbates this self-doubt because it creates an unattainable standard. As a result, you may avoid taking action altogether, fearing that your work will never live up to the expectations you've set for yourself. This lack of confidence keeps you from moving forward and keeps you locked in a cycle of self-criticism and hesitation. The constant need for perfection also leads to burnout. Trying to make everything perfect all the time can be exhausting. Perfectionism demands too much energy, both mentally and physically, and can leave you feeling drained and discouraged. When you constantly push yourself to achieve unattainable standards, you risk losing your passion for the task at hand. The pressure of perfection causes unnecessary stress and can make even small projects feel overwhelming. Instead of feeling accomplished, you feel exhausted, which only reinforces the cycle of overthinking and procrastination. In addition to causing stress, overthinking and perfectionism hinder creativity. When you're focused on getting everything just right, you limit your ability to explore new ideas and take risks. Creativity thrives when you allow yourself to make mistakes, experiment, and learn along the way. Perfectionism creates a fear of making mistakes, which stifles creative thinking and prevents you from trying new things. Overthinking also clouds your judgment, making it difficult to see the bigger picture and come up with innovative solutions. Both habits restrict your ability to think freely and creatively. The biggest danger of overthinking and perfectionism is that they keep you from achieving your full potential. You might have big dreams and great ideas, but if you spend all your time analyzing, perfecting, and second-guessing yourself, you'll never make progress toward your goals. Waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan often means waiting forever. The key to success is starting where you are, with what you have, and adjusting along the way. Overthinking and perfectionism prevent you from taking that first step, which is the most important one. So, how can you break free from the cycle of overthinking and perfectionism? The first step is to shift your focus from the end result to the process. Instead of worrying about getting everything right, focus on making progress. Celebrate the small wins and acknowledge the efforts you're putting in. Recognize that mistakes are a natural part of growth and that no one ever achieves perfection. By releasing the need for perfection and embracing imperfection, you open yourself up to new experiences and opportunities for growth. Another strategy is to set realistic goals and deadlines. Perfectionists often fall into the trap of working endlessly on something, trying to perfect every detail. Set clear, achievable goals for yourself and give yourself a reasonable deadline to complete them. This creates a sense of urgency and helps you focus on progress rather than perfection. It also prevents you from overthinking every aspect of your work, allowing you to make decisions and move forward more quickly. It's also important to practice self-compassion. Acknowledge that you are human and that mistakes are inevitable. Instead of beating yourself up for imperfections, treat yourself with kindness and understanding. When you learn to embrace your mistakes and learn from them, you build resilience and self-confidence. Self-compassion helps you overcome the fear of failure and encourages you to take action, knowing that you don't have to be perfect to succeed. Lastly, embrace the idea of done is better than perfect. Perfectionism can keep you stuck in a never-ending cycle of revisions and adjustments, but sometimes the most important thing is to finish what you've started. By accepting that good enough is often just that, good enough, you can stop overthinking and move forward. Take action, even if things aren't perfect. Once you take that first step, you'll find that you're able to improve and refine along the way. In conclusion, overthinking and perfectionism are dangerous habits that can keep you from reaching your full potential. They create barriers to taking action, erode your confidence, and prevent you from enjoying the process of growth. By shifting your focus from perfection to progress, setting realistic goals, practicing self-compassion, and embracing imperfection, you can break free from these habits and start moving toward success. The key to achieving your goals is to stop overthinking and start doing. Chapter 3. Embracing imperfection for progress. Perfectionism often feels like an admirable trait, but in reality it can be one of the biggest obstacles to success and personal growth. The constant pursuit of flawlessness creates a mindset where mistakes are feared and every action is scrutinized. Yet, true progress doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from embracing imperfection and learning from it. In this chapter, we will explore how accepting imperfection can actually fuel growth, creativity, and success, and why it's essential to move beyond the need to be flawless in order to achieve your goals. The first step in embracing imperfection for progress is recognizing that perfection is an illusion. No one can be perfect all the time, and no project or idea will ever be flawless from the start. The idea of perfection is subjective and ever-changing, influenced by individual perspectives and societal standards. By accepting that perfection doesn't exist, you free yourself from the pressure of having everything exactly right. Instead, you create space for growth, creativity, and innovation. Imperfection allows room for improvement and adaptation, turning mistakes into valuable lessons rather than roadblocks. When you embrace imperfection, you also allow yourself to take risks. The fear of making mistakes often holds people back from trying new things or taking action. When you strive for perfection, you become cautious, overthinking every decision and hesitation creeping in. But imperfection encourages experimentation and exploration. By taking action without worrying about every little detail, you open yourself up to opportunities that you might have otherwise missed. It's in the imperfections and missteps that you often discover new ideas, better solutions, and unexpected results. One of the most powerful benefits of embracing imperfection is the ability to learn and grow. Mistakes are a natural part of the process, and they provide valuable feedback that guides you toward improvement. When you try something and it doesn't go as planned, instead of seeing it as a failure, view it as an opportunity to adjust, learn, and grow. Every misstep brings you closer to your goal by teaching you what works and what doesn't. Progress isn't about avoiding mistakes, but about learning from them and using those lessons to move forward. Imperfection also nurtures resilience. In the pursuit of perfection, setbacks can feel crushing as they challenge your belief in your abilities. However, when you embrace imperfection, you build emotional strength. You learn to bounce back from failures, knowing that mistakes are not the end, but part of the journey. Every time you fall short of perfection, you develop the mental toughness to keep going and push through challenges. This resilience is what helps you stay on track toward your goals, even when things don't go as planned. Another important aspect of embracing imperfection is that it helps you avoid burnout. The pressure to be perfect can be exhausting, both mentally and physically. Constantly striving for flawlessness leaves little room for rest, relaxation, or self-care. On the other hand, when you accept that imperfection is a natural part of growth, you relieve yourself from the constant stress of needing to meet impossible standards. You create space for balance, allowing yourself to take breaks, recharge, and continue working toward your goals without burning out in the process. When you embrace imperfection, you also open the door to creativity. Perfectionism stifles creativity because it forces you to follow rigid rules and avoid experimentation. The fear of making mistakes limits your ability to think outside the box. But imperfection encourages creative thinking. When you let go of the need for everything to be perfect, you allow yourself the freedom to innovate, explore new ideas, and push boundaries. Creativity thrives in environments where mistakes are welcomed and new concepts can emerge from the unexpected. Embracing imperfection is also essential for building authentic relationships. Whether it's in personal or professional connections, the need for perfection can create a barrier to genuine, meaningful interactions. People are often afraid to show their vulnerabilities or flaws because they fear judgment or rejection. However, when you accept your own imperfections, you open yourself to the imperfections of others. Authentic relationships are built on honesty, vulnerability, and acceptance. By embracing your flaws, you create an environment where others feel safe to do the same, fostering deeper connections and mutual trust. Another aspect of embracing imperfection is the freedom it gives you to pursue your goals with joy. The constant pursuit of perfection can make success feel like an unattainable goal, leading to frustration and discouragement. But when you let go of the need to be perfect, you can focus on the journey rather than the destination. You can enjoy the process, celebrate small wins, and feel a sense of accomplishment, even when things aren't perfect. Embracing imperfection allows you to experience the joy of progress, knowing that every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. It's also important to understand that perfection is often based on external expectations, not internal fulfillment. The pressure to meet certain standards set by others can drive you to sacrifice your own happiness and well-being in the name of perfection. However, when you embrace imperfection, you take control of your own standards and priorities. You focus on what feels right for you, rather than trying to meet expectations that aren't aligned with your true self. This shift in perspective empowers you to pursue success on your own terms, without the need to conform to outside pressures. Another powerful element of embracing imperfection is that it fosters self-acceptance. Perfectionism often leads to self-criticism and a negative self-image, as you constantly compare yourself to others or to an idealized version of yourself. But when you accept your imperfections, you cultivate self-love and self-compassion. You realize that you are worthy of success and happiness just as you are, flaws and all. This self-acceptance is the foundation for confidence, resilience, and lasting success, as it allows you to move forward without fear of judgment or failure. To fully embrace imperfection, it's helpful to let go of the idea of failure. When you view imperfection as failure, it becomes something to fear and avoid. But when you see imperfection as a natural part of the process, it becomes an opportunity to grow, learn, and evolve. Failure doesn't define you, it refines you. Every time you face imperfection, you gain valuable experience that brings you closer to success. When you shift your mindset to see imperfection as a learning opportunity, you remove the emotional weight associated with mistakes, making it easier to keep moving forward. Another important aspect of embracing imperfection is that it leads to greater satisfaction and fulfillment. Perfectionism often causes you to set unattainably high standards, making it difficult to ever feel truly satisfied with your accomplishments. But when you embrace imperfection, you learn to appreciate the small wins and progress you make, even if things aren't perfect. This shift allows you to feel more fulfilled in your journey, as you focus on the growth you've achieved, rather than obsessing over what still needs to be perfect. Embracing imperfection is ultimately about accepting that success is not about being flawless. It's about making progress. Perfection is a moving target, constantly shifting based on new expectations and goals. But progress, however small, is always achievable. By focusing on growth, learning, and improvement, you allow yourself to move forward with purpose and determination. Embracing imperfection frees you to take action, overcome obstacles, and reach your goals, knowing that every step counts, even if it's not perfect. In conclusion, embracing imperfection is one of the most powerful ways to achieve progress. It removes the barriers created by overthinking, fear of failure, and unrealistic standards, allowing you to take consistent action toward your goals. Imperfection is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced as part of the journey. When you let go of the need to be perfect, you open yourself to growth, creativity, and success. Remember, progress comes from action, and imperfection is the fuel that drives it. Chapter 4. Breaking down goals into simple steps. Setting big goals is important, but achieving them requires breaking them down into smaller, more manageable steps. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when you look at a large, distant goal, but by breaking that goal into bite-sized actions, you make it easier to stay focused and motivated. This chapter will guide you through the process of simplifying your goals, making them more achievable, and helping you stay on track towards success. The first step in breaking down your goals is to clearly define them. A goal without clarity is like a destination without a map. Be specific about what you want to achieve. Instead of vague statements like, "I want to get healthier," set a clear, actionable goal such as, "I want to lose 10 pounds in 3 months," or "I want to run a 5K in 6 weeks." The clearer your goal, the easier it will be to break it down into manageable steps. Once you've defined your goal, it's important to identify the key milestones. These are the major steps that will bring you closer to achieving your overall goal. Think of these milestones as checkpoints on your journey. For example, if your goal is to lose weight, a key milestone might be working out 4 times a week for a month, or cutting out sugary drinks for 2 weeks. Breaking your goal into milestones allows you to celebrate progress and stay motivated along the way. Next, break your milestones into smaller tasks. It's one thing to say you'll work out 4 times a week, but what does that look like in practice? Perhaps one of the tasks might be create a workout schedule or buy the necessary gym equipment. The more detailed the tasks, the easier it will be to take action. Breaking things down into smaller tasks gives you a clear action plan and ensures you know exactly what to do next. Another key element of breaking down goals is setting deadlines for each step. Deadlines create a sense of urgency, making it more likely you'll take action. For instance, if your goal is to complete a project, set deadlines for each phase, such as research phase by Friday or first draft completed by next Monday. These deadlines keep you accountable and help prevent procrastination, making the goal feel more real and achievable. It's important to track your progress as you work through each step. Keeping track of your progress not only boosts motivation, but also allows you to identify any potential roadblocks early on. Whether it's through a to-do list, a calendar, or an app, monitoring your progress ensures you stay on track and adjust as necessary. Tracking helps you visualize how much closer you are to your goal, making the journey less daunting and more rewarding. At this stage, remember that flexibility is key. While it's important to have a plan, life can throw curveballs, and sometimes things don't go as expected. If you miss a deadline or face a challenge, don't get discouraged. Instead of seeing it as a setback, view it as an opportunity to reassess your plan and adjust your approach. Flexibility allows you to stay resilient and continue working toward your goal, no matter what obstacles arise. One of the most important aspects of breaking down goals is ensuring that each step is realistic. It's easy to set big goals, but not fully consider how much time, effort, or resources each step will require. Be honest with yourself about what you can reasonably accomplish within a set time frame. By being realistic about the steps and tasks involved, you increase your chances of success and prevent burnout. Accountability can play a significant role in keeping you on track. Share your goals and the steps you're taking with a friend, family member, or mentor who can hold you accountable. Having someone check in on your progress can provide an extra layer of motivation and help you stay committed. Accountability partners offer support and encouragement, helping you stay focused even when challenges arise. Another essential part of breaking down goals is celebrating small wins along the way. Every time you complete a task or reach a milestone, take a moment to recognize and celebrate your achievement. Celebrating small wins boosts confidence and reinforces the positive behaviors that will help you reach your ultimate goal. These celebrations don't have to be grand, but should be meaningful, whether it's treating yourself to a small reward or simply acknowledging your hard work. As you break your goals down into smaller, more manageable steps, don't forget to prioritize them. Some steps will be more urgent than others, and it's important to focus on the tasks that will have the most significant impact first. By prioritizing, you make sure that your efforts are aligned with your ultimate goal and that you're focusing on the most important tasks at the right time. Prioritizing helps you stay organized and prevents you from feeling overwhelmed by smaller, less important details. In some cases, you might encounter challenges or distractions that make it difficult to stay on track. This is where discipline comes in. Staying disciplined means sticking to your plan and following through, even when it gets hard. By developing the habit of discipline, you train yourself to continue working toward your goal, even when you don't feel like it. Remember, consistency is key. The more consistent you are in taking action, the faster you'll reach your goal. One common mistake people make when breaking down their goals is to underestimate the time needed to complete each task. It's easy to think that things will go faster than they actually do. To avoid frustration, try to build some buffer time into your plan. Allow yourself some extra time for unexpected obstacles or delays so you don't feel stressed or rushed. Buffer time makes your goals feel more achievable and prevents you from burning out. It's also important to be aware of your mental and emotional state throughout the process. Breaking down goals can be challenging, and it's easy to get frustrated if progress feels slow. When you're feeling overwhelmed or discouraged, take a step back and reevaluate. Breaks are essential for maintaining energy and focus. Sometimes stepping away from the task for a short time can give you the clarity you need to continue making progress. In addition to breaks, self-care is an essential part of the goal-achieving process. Taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional health allows you to stay focused and energized. Exercise, proper sleep, healthy eating, and stress-relieving activities all contribute to a stronger foundation for accomplishing your goals. When you take care of yourself, you're better equipped to handle the challenges that come your way. As you work through each step, remember that progress doesn't always look linear. You might experience setbacks, slow periods, or unexpected challenges. Don't be discouraged by these moments. Instead, use them as learning experiences. Each setback teaches you something valuable and helps you refine your approach. By staying committed to your goal, you will eventually overcome the obstacles that arise and continue making forward progress. The power of breaking down goals into simple steps is that it makes even the biggest, most overwhelming goals feel possible. By focusing on one small task at a time, you shift your focus from the daunting end result to the manageable steps that will get you there. As you accomplish each task, you build momentum, and the goal that once seemed impossible becomes not only achievable, but within reach. Finally, remember that breaking down goals into simple steps doesn't just apply to big long-term goals. You can use this approach for daily tasks and short-term objectives as well. Whether you're working toward a career achievement, improving your fitness, or organizing your home, breaking things down into smaller steps gives you the clarity and direction to stay focused and organized. It's a powerful tool for success in any area of life. In conclusion, breaking down your goals into simple, actionable steps is the key to achieving success without feeling overwhelmed. By defining clear goals, setting milestones, creating realistic tasks, and prioritizing your efforts, you turn large, intimidating goals into manageable actions. The process may take time, but the rewards are worth it. Remember, progress is made one small step at a time. So start now and let each step bring you closer to your ultimate goal. Chapter 5. Overcoming Fear of Failure. Fear of failure is one of the most powerful and limiting forces that prevent people from reaching their potential. It paralyzes us, making us avoid taking risks, trying new things, or stepping outside our comfort zones. Failure is often viewed as something to be avoided at all costs, but in reality, it is a necessary part of growth and success. In this chapter, we will explore how to overcome the fear of failure, embrace it as a learning experience, and use it as a stepping stone toward achieving your goals. The first step in overcoming the fear of failure is acknowledging it. Many people are afraid of failing, but they avoid confronting this fear directly. Instead, they may procrastinate, make excuses, or stay in their comfort zones to avoid taking action. To overcome the fear, you must first recognize it. Acknowledge that failure is something you fear and understand that this fear is a natural part of being human. By acknowledging your fear, you take the first step toward addressing it and finding ways to overcome it. One of the reasons we fear failure is because we tie it to our sense of self-worth. Many people believe that failure means they are not good enough or that they have somehow failed as a person. This belief can be paralyzing as it prevents you from taking risks or trying new things. However, it's important to recognize that failure is not a reflection of your worth. It is simply a part of the process of learning and growth. Everyone fails at some point, but that does not define who you are. Once you separate your self-worth from your failures, you can move forward without the fear of being judged. Another key to overcoming the fear of failure is reframing how you view failure itself. Instead of seeing failure as something negative or final, view it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Failure is not the end of the road. It's a lesson that shows you what doesn't work and what you need to adjust. Every failure brings with it valuable insights that can help you improve. By reframing failure as a learning experience, you shift your mindset from one of fear to one of opportunity. You begin to see failure as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. It's also important to remember that failure is often not as catastrophic as we imagine. Many of us fear failure because we think it will have disastrous consequences. But in reality, most failures are not as dramatic as we fear. Even if something doesn't go as planned, the impact is often much smaller than we anticipate. When you allow yourself to fail without catastrophizing the outcome, you take away much of the fear's power. Instead of being afraid of what might happen, focus on the small, manageable consequences and realize that you can handle them. Taking small steps toward your goal can also help reduce the fear of failure. Instead of aiming for big, overwhelming achievements, break your goal down into smaller, more manageable tasks. This reduces the pressure and makes failure feel less daunting. Each small step you take builds confidence and makes it easier to handle setbacks. When you fail at one small task, it's not as intimidating, and it's easier to get back on track. Gradually, these small steps add up to significant progress, and your fear of failure becomes less pronounced as you see that you can overcome obstacles along the way. Another effective way to overcome the fear of failure is by visualizing success. Instead of focusing on all the things that could go wrong, imagine what it will feel like when you succeed. Picture yourself achieving your goal, feeling the satisfaction of accomplishment, and seeing the positive outcomes of your efforts. Visualization helps shift your focus from the fear of failure to the excitement of success. When you can vividly imagine your success, the fear of failure begins to lose its grip on you. It's also important to recognize that failure is not permanent. Many people fear failure because they believe it will define them forever. However, failure is temporary, and it is just one moment in a much larger journey. Every successful person has failed at some point, but their failures did not define them. Instead, they used their failures as opportunities to learn, improve, and try again. Remember that failure does not have to be the end. It can be the beginning of something better. Building resilience is a crucial part of overcoming the fear of failure. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and keep going in the face of challenges. The more resilient you are, the less likely failure will stop you in your tracks. To build resilience, focus on developing a positive mindset that embraces setbacks as part of the journey. Understand that challenges and failures are natural, and the key to success is not avoiding them, but learning how to navigate them with strength and perseverance. Another helpful strategy is to take failure in stride and accept it as a part of the process. The more you accept that failure is a natural and necessary part of achieving your goals, the less you will fear it. Rather than avoiding failure at all costs, seek out opportunities to take risks and learn from them. This mindset shift allows you to move forward without being held back by the fear of failure. You start to see failure as a valuable part of the journey, not something to avoid at all costs. Sometimes the fear of failure is rooted in the fear of judgment from others. We fear how others will perceive us if we fail. However, it's important to remember that other people's opinions do not define your worth or success. The only judgment that matters is your own. Focus on your own goals and progress, rather than worrying about what others think. When you let go of the need for external validation, you free yourself from the fear of failure and can pursue your goals with more confidence and clarity. Another powerful technique for overcoming the fear of failure is developing a growth mindset. People with a growth mindset believe that their abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. When you adopt a growth mindset, you see failure as a natural part of the learning process rather than something that defines your ability. Instead of seeing failure as a reflection of your limitations, view it as an opportunity to improve and grow. A growth mindset helps you approach challenges with a positive attitude and reduces the fear of failure. Surrounding yourself with supportive people is also crucial in overcoming the fear of failure. Having a network of friends, mentors, or colleagues who encourage and support you can provide a sense of security and confidence. These individuals can help you reframe failure, remind you of your strengths, and offer advice and encouragement when things don't go as planned. A strong support system helps you bounce back from setbacks and keeps you moving forward. In addition to support from others, practicing self-compassion is essential. Often, we are our own harshest critics, beating ourselves up after failure. But self-compassion allows you to treat yourself with kindness and understanding, just as you would treat a friend who is going through a difficult time. When you fail, instead of criticizing yourself, practice self-compassion by acknowledging that failure is part of the human experience and that it doesn't define your worth. Self-compassion helps you recover more quickly from setbacks and approach challenges with a more positive outlook. Overcoming the fear of failure requires taking consistent action. The more you take action, the more confident you become in your ability to handle setbacks and failure. Each time you try something and face a challenge, you build experience and resilience. Eventually, the fear of failure will diminish as you become more comfortable with the process of learning, growing, and adapting. One powerful way to overcome the fear of failure is to reframe your thinking about success and failure. Instead of seeing them as opposites, view them as two sides of the same coin. Failure provides the lessons and insights that lead to success. Without failure, there would be no growth, no learning, and no improvement. Embrace failure as part of the equation for success, and you'll no longer fear it. You'll welcome it as a necessary part of the journey. Finally, remember that every successful person has faced failure. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is their ability to persevere in the face of failure. When you embrace failure, learn from it, and keep moving forward, you set yourself up for long-term success. Don't let the fear of failure hold you back. Use it as fuel to drive you toward your goals. In conclusion, overcoming the fear of failure is essential for achieving your goals and living a fulfilling life. By acknowledging your fear, reframing failure, building resilience, and taking consistent action, you can move beyond the fear of failure and embrace the learning process that leads to success. Remember, failure is not the end. It's the beginning of a new opportunity to grow, improve, and succeed. Embrace failure as part of your journey, and you'll find the courage to move forward with confidence and determination. Chapter 6. Cultivating a bias toward action. Taking action is the key to achieving any goal. Yet many people struggle to take that first step. They often wait for the perfect moment, gather excessive information, or become paralyzed by doubt and fear of failure. This chapter is about cultivating a bias toward action, a mindset that prioritizes doing over thinking, moving over waiting, and progress over perfection. When you develop a bias toward action, you stop letting hesitation or fear dictate your pace and start actively working toward your goals. The first step in cultivating a bias toward action is understanding the importance of starting. Often, the hardest part of any task is simply taking the first step. It's easy to get caught in a cycle of overthinking and indecision, waiting for all the stars to align before you begin. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect time to start. You can't predict every outcome, and sometimes the best thing you can do is to take that first step and adjust as you go. Starting, no matter how imperfect, is the key to breaking through stagnation. Once you've made the decision to start, the next step is to make action a habit. Action isn't something you do only when you feel motivated or inspired. It's something you do regularly, whether or not you feel like it. Creating a routine of action helps build momentum. The more you act, the easier it becomes to continue taking action. By making action a daily practice, you reinforce your commitment to progress, even when the initial excitement fades. This consistency is what ultimately leads to long-term success. A bias toward action also means making decisions quickly and decisively. Indecision is a powerful force that holds people back from moving forward. We often second-guess ourselves, overanalyze, or wait for more information before making a decision. But the truth is, overthinking delays progress and keeps us stuck in a cycle of inaction. When you make decisions quickly, even if they're not perfect, you empower yourself to keep moving forward. Every decision leads to action, and each action takes you one step closer to your goal. Another important aspect of cultivating a bias toward action is minimizing distractions. In today's world, it's easy to become overwhelmed by constant notifications, social media, and other distractions that pull us away from our tasks. To take consistent action, you must learn to eliminate or limit distractions. This could mean turning off your phone, setting specific time blocks for focused work, or creating a dedicated space for productivity. By reducing distractions, you make it easier to focus on what matters and move forward without unnecessary interruptions. A bias toward action also means embracing imperfection. Perfectionism can paralyze you into inaction as you wait for everything to be just right. But waiting for perfection is a trap that keeps you from making progress. You must recognize that imperfection is part of the process. Nothing will ever be perfect from the start, but taking action anyway allows you to learn, grow, and refine your approach. By accepting imperfection, you create space for experimentation, which leads to innovation and improvement. Building confidence is another crucial element of taking action. The more you act, the more confident you become in your ability to succeed. Action breeds confidence because every time you take a step, you prove to yourself that you can handle challenges and setbacks. This confidence makes it easier to keep going, even when the path isn't clear. The more you act, the more you realize that the fear of failure isn't as overwhelming as you thought, and that the reward of progress is far greater. A bias toward action also means being willing to fail, and to fail quickly. Many people avoid action because they fear making mistakes. However, failure is not something to fear. It's an essential part of the learning process. When you take action, you open the door to valuable feedback and insights, which are crucial for growth. Failing quickly allows you to pivot, adjust, and improve your approach. The faster you fail, the faster you learn, and the faster you move toward success. A bias toward action means not letting fear of failure stop you from moving forward. One way to cultivate a bias toward action is by focusing on progress, not perfection. Many people get stuck trying to make everything perfect before taking the next step, but this mentality slows down progress. Instead, focus on making progress, however small, every day. Each step you take moves you closer to your goal, and each action, no matter how imperfect, helps build momentum. When you focus on progress rather than perfection, you free yourself from the paralyzing grip of overthinking and allow yourself to keep moving forward. It's also important to prioritize action over waiting for motivation. Motivation is fleeting and unreliable. If you wait for motivation to strike before taking action, you'll often find yourself stuck in a cycle of procrastination. The truth is, action often comes before motivation. The more you take action, the more motivated you become, because each step you take brings you closer to your goal. By focusing on action first, you create the momentum necessary to keep moving forward, even when motivation wanes. Setting small, achievable goals is another effective strategy for cultivating a bias toward action. Large, overwhelming goals can make you feel stuck and unsure of where to start. But by breaking your goals down into smaller, manageable tasks, you make it easier to take action. Small goals are less intimidating and more achievable, making it easier to stay focused and committed. As you complete these small tasks, you build momentum, which leads to greater confidence and success in the long run. Another key to cultivating a bias toward action is taking responsibility for your progress. Rather than waiting for others or external circumstances to change, recognize that you have control over your actions. Taking responsibility means owning your decisions and holding yourself accountable for the steps you take. When you take full responsibility for your actions, you stop making excuses and start focusing on what you can do to move forward. This mindset shift helps you take more consistent, decisive action toward your goals. Creating a supportive environment is also important when cultivating a bias toward action. Surround yourself with people who encourage you to take action and who hold you accountable for your progress. Positive reinforcement and encouragement from others can help keep you motivated, even when challenges arise. A supportive environment can also help reduce distractions and keep you focused on your goals. When you have people who believe in you and your ability to take action, you're more likely to stay committed and motivated. A bias toward action requires developing the discipline to stick to your plans. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's about showing up every day, taking consistent action, and staying committed to your goals. Building discipline takes time and effort, but the more you practice it, the easier it becomes to take action without hesitation. Discipline helps you push through resistance and keep moving forward, even when motivation is low. One effective way to build a bias toward action is by eliminating perfectionist thinking. Perfectionism often paralyzes us by making us believe that we must get everything right before we can take action. However, perfectionism only holds you back. Instead of waiting for the perfect plan or the perfect conditions, take action with what you have now. Trust that you will learn and adapt as you go. The key is not perfection, but progress, and taking action is the only way to make progress. Another important aspect of a bias toward action is the ability to assess and adapt. When you take action, you gain valuable insights and feedback that help you refine your approach. Rather than seeing failure as a setback, view it as an opportunity to learn and improve. Each time you take action, you gather information that can help you make better decisions moving forward. This ability to assess and adapt is what allows you to continually improve and achieve your goals. A bias toward action is also about building momentum. The more you act, the easier it becomes to keep acting. Momentum is a powerful force that propels you forward, making it easier to take the next step. When you're in motion, it's harder to stop than when you're stuck in indecision. Every action you take builds momentum, making the next step feel easier and more natural. By cultivating a bias toward action, you create a cycle of momentum that pushes you towards success. Finally, remember that action leads to results. You can plan, dream, and visualize all you want, but nothing will happen unless you take action. The key to achieving your goals is not thinking about them, but doing something about them. The more you act, the more you learn, grow, and move closer to your ultimate goal. Cultivating a bias toward action means prioritizing doing over thinking, moving over waiting, and making progress over striving for perfection. The path to success is built one action at a time. In conclusion, cultivating a bias toward action is one of the most important things you can do to achieve your goals. By focusing on taking consistent, decisive steps, you create momentum and reduce the impact of fear, indecision, and perfectionism. Action leads to progress, and progress leads to success. So, stop waiting for the perfect moment and start acting today. The sooner you begin, the closer you'll be to achieving the success you desire. Chapter 7. Trusting yourself and your instincts. Trusting yourself and your instincts is a crucial element of personal growth and success. In a world filled with external opinions, advice, and expectations, it's easy to lose sight of your inner voice. However, when you learn to trust yourself, you unlock the power to make decisions that align with your true desires and values. In this chapter, we explore how to strengthen your self-trust, tune into your instincts, and rely on your internal guidance to make choices that move you toward your goals. The first step in trusting yourself is acknowledging that you have the answers within you. Too often, we look outside ourselves for validation or advice, thinking that others know what's best for us. While seeking advice can be helpful at times, it's important to recognize that no one knows you as well as you know yourself. Your instincts, your intuition, and your life experiences provide you with the tools to make decisions that are best suited to your needs. Trusting yourself begins with believing in your own ability to make choices and take action. One of the keys to trusting yourself is learning to listen to your inner voice. Your instincts often speak to you through subtle feelings, gut reactions, or an inner knowing that something is right or wrong. Too often we ignore or dismiss these feelings, thinking they are insignificant or irrational. However, your instincts are powerful, and they often provide valuable guidance. To trust yourself, you must learn to pay attention to these inner signals and give them the weight they deserve. This requires slowing down, quieting the noise around you, and being present with your own thoughts and emotions. Self-trust also involves letting go of the fear of making mistakes. Many people hesitate to trust themselves because they fear failure or regret. However, mistakes are an inevitable part of growth, and they are not a reflection of your abilities. Trusting yourself means accepting that you will make mistakes along the way, but that these mistakes are opportunities for learning and improvement. When you stop fearing failure, you free yourself to take action and follow your instincts, knowing that each experience will teach you something valuable. Another important aspect of trusting yourself is developing confidence in your decision-making abilities. Confidence comes from taking action and reflecting on your past experiences. When you trust yourself, you make decisions based on your own judgment and values, rather than relying on the opinions of others. The more decisions you make, the more you build confidence in your ability to navigate life. Trusting yourself isn't about being perfect. It's about believing in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Overcoming self-doubt is a crucial step in trusting yourself. Self-doubt often arises when we question our abilities, our judgment, or our worth. This fear can paralyze us, preventing us from making decisions or taking action. To trust yourself, you must learn to acknowledge and challenge self-doubt. Recognize that self-doubt is a natural part of the process, but it doesn't have to control you. By taking action despite the doubt, you reinforce your belief in yourself and your ability to succeed. Trusting your instincts also requires learning to differentiate between fear and intuition. Fear can feel similar to intuition, especially when it's related to a decision that involves risk or uncertainty. However, fear often comes from a place of self-preservation or limiting beliefs, while intuition arises from a deeper knowing that guides you toward the best path. Learning to trust yourself means distinguishing between these two forces and choosing to follow your instincts rather than being swayed by fear. Another powerful way to trust yourself is by setting boundaries that protect your well-being. When you trust yourself, you recognize the importance of setting limits with others and with yourself. Boundaries allow you to prioritize your own needs, values, and desires. By setting boundaries, you assert your self-trust and respect for your own personal space. Trusting yourself means knowing when to say yes and when to say no, based on what feels right for you. One of the most significant barriers to trusting yourself is seeking external validation. In a society that values approval from others, it's easy to rely on other people's opinions to determine your worth or make decisions. However, when you trust yourself, you no longer need validation from others to feel confident in your choices. Instead of seeking approval, you learn to trust that your judgment is enough. This shift in mindset allows you to take action based on your own beliefs and desires, not the opinions of others. Trusting yourself also involves taking responsibility for your actions. When you trust yourself, you accept responsibility for the choices you make, without blaming others or external circumstances. Taking responsibility means acknowledging both your successes and your failures, and using them as opportunities for growth. It's about owning your decisions and learning from the outcomes rather than deflecting blame or making excuses. This sense of ownership strengthens your self-trust and reinforces your ability to navigate life with confidence. It's important to recognize that trusting yourself is an ongoing process. It's not something that happens overnight, and it requires continuous effort and reflection. As you go through life and face new challenges, your ability to trust yourself will grow stronger. The more you take action based on your instincts, the more you will build confidence in your judgment and abilities. Trusting yourself is a journey, and each step you take along the way strengthens your self-reliance. In times of uncertainty, trust your instincts to guide you. There will be moments in life when the path forward isn't clear, and you may feel unsure of what to do next. In these moments, your instincts can provide clarity. Trusting yourself means having the courage to move forward without having all the answers. It's about taking one step at a time and trusting that you'll know what to do next as you go. Your instincts are always there to guide you, even when the future seems uncertain. Another way to strengthen your self-trust is by reflecting on your past successes. Think about times when you trusted your instincts and achieved positive outcomes. Reflecting on these moments helps reinforce your belief in your ability to make sound decisions. By looking back on the times you've succeeded, you build evidence that supports your ability to trust yourself in the future. Trusting yourself also means taking risks and stepping outside of your comfort zone. Growth happens when you challenge yourself, and trust is built by stepping into the unknown. When you push past your fears and take calculated risks, you prove to yourself that you are capable of handling uncertainty and change. Trusting yourself means embracing discomfort and taking action, even when you don't have all the answers. Self-compassion plays a crucial role in trusting yourself. Sometimes we are our own harshest critics, doubting our abilities and being overly critical of our choices. Trusting yourself means being kind and understanding toward yourself, especially when things don't go as planned. Instead of berating yourself for mistakes, practice self-compassion by recognizing that everyone makes errors, and these mistakes are opportunities for growth. When you treat yourself with compassion, you reinforce your belief in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. To trust yourself fully, you must also learn to tune out the noise of external criticism. People will always have opinions, but not all of them are worth listening to. Trusting yourself means being confident in your decisions, regardless of what others think. While feedback can be valuable, it's important to recognize that only you truly know what's best for you. When you stop seeking approval from others and start trusting your own judgment, you empower yourself to make choices that align with your values and goals. As you continue to trust yourself, you will begin to notice that your decision-making becomes more intuitive. Over time, as you follow your instincts and see positive results, your confidence in your abilities grows. Trusting yourself becomes a natural and effortless process. You no longer second-guess every decision, but instead you move forward with confidence and clarity, knowing that your instincts will guide you in the right direction. Lastly, remember that trusting yourself is an act of self-love and respect. When you trust yourself, you acknowledge your own worth and believe in your ability to create the life you desire. Trusting yourself is the foundation for living authentically and pursuing your goals with confidence. It is the key to making empowered decisions and living a life that aligns with your true values and desires. In conclusion, trusting yourself and your instincts is essential for personal growth, success, and happiness. By listening to your inner voice, letting go of fear, and building confidence through action, you strengthen your ability to trust yourself. Trusting yourself means recognizing that you have the answers within you, and by embracing that trust, you empower yourself to make decisions that lead you toward the life you want to create. Chapter 8: The Importance of Consistency over Perfection. In the pursuit of success, the desire for perfection often holds us back from making any meaningful progress. Perfectionism can lead to hesitation, procrastination, and self-doubt. On the other hand, consistency is a driving force that propels us forward, even when things aren't perfect. In this chapter, we will explore why consistency is far more important than perfection and how cultivating a consistent approach can lead to greater success, personal growth, and fulfillment. The first step in understanding the importance of consistency is recognizing that success is not a result of isolated bursts of perfection. Perfectionism often focuses on achieving flawless results in one go, but this approach is rarely sustainable. True success is built through consistent, incremental effort. Rather than aiming for perfection, Focus on taking consistent action toward your goal, no matter how small or imperfect those actions may seem. Consistency allows you to make steady progress, even on days when you don't feel motivated or inspired. The beauty of consistency lies in its ability to create momentum. Each small action you take adds up over time, leading to greater results than occasional bursts of effort. Perfection, on the other hand, can cause you to stall as you wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. By being consistent, you remove the need for the perfect conditions and begin moving forward, regardless of external circumstances. Another key benefit of consistency is that it builds habits. The more you consistently work toward a goal, the more that effort becomes ingrained in your daily routine. Consistent action transforms into habits, and habits are the foundation for long-term success. Whether it's writing every day, exercising regularly, or dedicating time to learning, consistency turns your goals into automatic behaviors that become part of your identity. Perfectionism, however, often causes inconsistency, as it can paralyze you into inaction, waiting for the right moment to perform perfectly. Consistency also helps you improve over time. Perfectionism often discourages progress because it creates the false belief that everything must be flawless from the start. When you accept that perfection is not the goal, you give yourself permission to make mistakes, learn from them, and improve. Consistent effort over time ensures that you get better at what you do. Perfection, by contrast, leads to frustration when things don't go as planned, hindering growth and keeping you from pushing past initial challenges. The power of consistency is evident in the long term. It's easy to get distracted by shiny objects or quick fixes, but lasting success doesn't come from one-off efforts. The most successful people in any field are those who show up day after day, putting in the work consistently, regardless of setbacks or imperfections. This steady approach leads to lasting results, while perfectionism can often lead to burnout or frustration, as the constant pressure to meet unrealistically high standards becomes unsustainable. When you focus on consistency rather than perfection, you give yourself more freedom. Perfectionism can be suffocating, as it forces you to meet unattainable standards and leads to constant self-criticism. By letting go of the need to be perfect, you free yourself from this mental trap and open up the possibility for growth, creativity, and progress. Consistency allows you to be flexible, adapt to challenges, and take imperfect action without the weight of perfectionism holding you back. Another important aspect of consistency is its ability to help you stay focused. Perfectionism often leads to distractions as you obsess over details and try to make everything flawless. With consistency, you can keep your eyes on the bigger picture, knowing that small, repeated actions are what will eventually get you to your goal. By breaking your larger goal into smaller, consistent tasks, you stay focused on what matters and prevent the overwhelm that comes with trying to achieve perfection. Consistency also leads to increased self-discipline. The more consistently you work toward your goals, the more discipline you develop. Self-discipline comes from showing up even when you don't feel like it, pushing through challenges, and maintaining momentum over time. This discipline compounds over time, helping you stay on track and achieve things you might have once thought impossible. Perfectionism, on the other hand, often results in indecision, second-guessing, and an unwillingness to take risks, ultimately slowing your progress. Another reason consistency is more important than perfection is that it helps you measure your progress. When you focus on consistent action, it becomes easier to see how far you've come. You can track your efforts, celebrate your wins, and adjust your approach when necessary. Perfectionism, on the other hand, doesn't allow for this level of reflection, as you're constantly focused on whether or not your results are perfect. By embracing consistency, you keep your eyes on progress rather than perfection, which motivates you to keep going. Consistency also teaches you how to handle setbacks. In any journey toward success, setbacks are inevitable. But when you prioritize consistency, you learn how to bounce back quickly. Instead of seeing failure or obstacles as the end of the road, consistency teaches you to view them as opportunities to learn and grow. Every small step, even when it's not perfect, contributes to the overall journey, and this mindset helps you stay resilient in the face of challenges. Another important aspect of consistency is that it helps you manage your energy and focus. Perfectionism can lead to burnout, as you put excessive pressure on yourself to meet unrealistic standards. With consistency, you take a more sustainable approach. You pace yourself, setting realistic goals and working steadily toward them without overloading yourself. This balanced approach helps you maintain your energy and focus over the long term, which is crucial for achieving lasting success. When you embrace consistency over perfection, you also become more comfortable with ambiguity. In the quest for perfection, everything needs to be clear, defined, and certain. However, life and success are often messy, unpredictable, and full of uncertainty. By focusing on consistent effort, you become more comfortable taking action even when you don't have all the answers. This ability to embrace uncertainty allows you to stay flexible and adapt when things don't go according to plan, ultimately leading to greater success. Consistency also builds trust in yourself. The more you consistently show up, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving your goals. Trust in yourself and your abilities is built through repeated action and effort. When you take consistent action toward your goals, you begin to develop a deep sense of self-assurance. This self-trust allows you to take on bigger challenges, knowing that you have the ability to handle whatever comes your way. Perfectionism, by contrast, undermines self-trust because it leads to fear and hesitation, making it difficult to move forward. Consistency provides structure, which is essential for long-term success. Without a consistent approach, you may struggle to stay organized and make progress toward your goals. A clear routine or schedule that prioritizes consistent action helps you stay on track and ensures that you're making measurable progress every day. By focusing on the process of showing up, rather than obsessing over the end result, you create a system that supports your goals and makes success feel more attainable. Another benefit of consistency is that it builds positive momentum. When you stay consistent with your actions, you naturally build momentum, which makes it easier to keep going. This momentum helps you overcome obstacles and push through periods of doubt or low motivation. Each step you take builds on the last, creating a snowball effect that propels you forward. Perfectionism, on the other hand, often leads to starts and stops, preventing you from building the momentum necessary for long-term success. Consistency allows you to stay committed to your long-term vision. Perfectionism often leads to frustration when immediate results don't align with your high standards. But consistency helps you stay patient and committed, knowing that results will come with time. By focusing on the process and staying consistent, you maintain your motivation, even when immediate results aren't apparent. This long-term commitment is the key to achieving meaningful success. In conclusion, consistency is far more important than perfection because it is the foundation of long-term growth and success. By focusing on consistent action rather than the need for perfection, you build momentum, develop discipline, and learn to embrace failure as part of the process. Perfectionism can paralyze you with fear and self-doubt, but consistency empowers you to keep moving forward, regardless of setbacks or imperfections. Remember, success is built on the small, consistent steps you take every day. Focus on consistency, and the results will follow. Chapter 9. Managing Distractions and Staying Focused. In today's fast-paced world, distractions are everywhere. Whether it's your phone, social media, emails, or the constant flow of information, staying focused on a task can feel like a monumental challenge. Yet, the ability to manage distractions and stay focused is essential for achieving success in any area of life. In this chapter, we will explore practical strategies for managing distractions, staying focused, and creating an environment conducive to productivity and progress. The first step in managing distractions is recognizing what distracts you. Everyone's distractions are different, and what may be a distraction for one person might not affect another. For some, it's the lure of social media notifications, while for others, it might be a noisy environment, multitasking, or even negative thoughts. Understanding the specific distractions that pull your attention away from your tasks is crucial. Once you identify them, you can begin to take steps to eliminate or manage them. One effective strategy for managing distractions is setting clear goals and priorities. When you know exactly what you need to accomplish and why, it becomes easier to stay focused on the task at hand. By defining your goals clearly, you create a sense of purpose that can help you resist distractions. It's much harder to be distracted when you have a concrete plan and a clear understanding of how your actions align with your objectives. Another way to manage distractions is by creating a dedicated workspace. Whether you're working from home, a coffee shop, or in an office, having a specific space for your tasks helps you mentally separate work from leisure. This space should be free from distractions, organized, and designed to help you focus. Make sure your workspace is comfortable, free of clutter, and has everything you need to work efficiently. This physical separation between work and non-work areas makes it easier to concentrate and be productive. Limiting digital distractions is also critical in staying focused. Technology can be a major source of distraction, especially with constant notifications from social media, emails, or messaging apps. One way to limit digital distractions is by using apps or tools designed to block or limit access to distracting websites or notifications. Alternatively, you can set specific times during the day to check your email or social media rather than allowing these platforms to interrupt your workflow. Turning off notifications or putting your phone on airplane mode during deep work sessions can help you stay focused and productive. Another technique for staying focused is practicing the Pomodoro technique. This method involves working in focused intervals, typically 25 minutes, followed by a short break. After 4 intervals, you take a longer break. The idea is that by breaking your work into short, manageable periods, you reduce mental fatigue and increase focus. The Pomodoro technique encourages sustained concentration and helps prevent burnout by incorporating regular rest periods. Creating a daily routine is another powerful tool for managing distractions. A structured routine helps your brain know when it's time to focus and when it's time to rest. By establishing regular working hours, you create a habit of focusing during those times, making it easier to get into a state of flow. Consistency in your routine eliminates the mental energy required to decide when to work, allowing you to focus on the task at hand without second-guessing your schedule. In addition to structure, it's essential to set boundaries with others. Whether you're at home or in an office, people can often unintentionally disrupt your focus with questions, requests, or casual conversations. To manage these distractions, establish boundaries by clearly communicating when you are available and when you need focused time. Let people know that you are working and need uninterrupted time, and be assertive about protecting those boundaries. By setting clear expectations, you can minimize interruptions and stay focused on your tasks. One of the biggest internal distractions is negative or intrusive thoughts. These thoughts can pull you away from your work, causing you to doubt your abilities or get caught up in worries and anxieties. Managing these distractions requires cultivating mindfulness and awareness. When a distracting thought arises, gently acknowledge it without judgment and return your focus to the task at hand. Techniques like deep breathing or mindfulness meditation can help train your mind to stay present and reduce the impact of negative thoughts. Another technique for staying focused is practicing the art of saying no. We often say yes to things out of guilt or a desire to please others, but this can lead to an overload of responsibilities and distractions. Learning to say no allows you to prioritize what truly matters and avoid unnecessary distractions. By protecting your time and energy, you give yourself the space to focus on your most important tasks and achieve your goals. It's also crucial to recognize the importance of taking care of your physical and mental well-being to maintain focus. When you're tired, hungry, or stressed, it's much harder to stay focused and productive. Ensure you're getting enough sleep, eating nourishing foods, and exercising regularly to keep your mind and body sharp. Incorporating relaxation techniques such as yoga or meditation into your routine can help reduce stress and improve concentration. Time blocking is another useful method for staying focused and managing distractions. This technique involves scheduling specific blocks of time throughout the day for particular tasks or activities. By assigning time slots for each task, you eliminate the mental effort of deciding what to do next. Time blocking also ensures that you are dedicating enough time to each task without multitasking, which can often lead to decreased productivity and greater distractions. Delegating tasks can also help you manage distractions. Often we take on too much responsibility, leading to mental clutter and divided attention. If there are tasks that others can handle, delegate them to free up your time and focus on the work that requires your attention. Delegation not only reduces distractions, but also helps you focus on the tasks that align with your goals and strengths. Another important strategy for staying focused is practicing single tasking. In a world that glorifies multitasking, it can be tempting to juggle multiple tasks at once. However, multitasking often leads to reduced productivity and more distractions. Focusing on one task at a time allows you to complete it more efficiently and with greater attention to detail. Single tasking also reduces mental fatigue, making it easier to stay focused for longer periods. It's also important to periodically review and assess your goals. Distractions can sometimes arise when you lose sight of your larger purpose or don't know exactly where you're headed. Regularly revisiting your goals helps you stay on track and motivated. When you are clear on what you want to achieve, it's easier to resist distractions and stay focused on the steps that will get you closer to your desired outcome. A useful technique for managing distractions is setting specific intentions for each work session. Before you start a task, take a moment to clarify your intention. Ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish in the next hour? This simple exercise helps you stay focused and gives you a sense of direction. When you set an intention, you create a mental commitment to stay on task and avoid distractions. This clarity helps you resist the urge to check your phone, engage in unrelated tasks, or lose focus. Understanding your peak productivity times is also essential for staying focused. Everyone has times of the day when they feel more alert and energetic. Identify your peak hours and schedule your most important tasks during those times. By working with your natural rhythm, you make it easier to concentrate and avoid distractions. During your less productive hours, you can focus on smaller, less demanding tasks or take breaks to recharge. Another technique for minimizing distractions is simplifying your environment. A cluttered environment can overwhelm your senses and make it harder to focus. Take the time to organize your workspace, remove unnecessary items, and create a clean, minimalist environment. By reducing physical clutter, you reduce mental clutter, allowing you to focus more clearly and effectively on the task at hand. Lastly, recognize the importance of accountability in staying focused. Having someone to check in with or report progress to can be a powerful motivator. Whether it's a coworker, a mentor, or a friend, accountability encourages you to stay on track and prevents you from getting distracted. The simple act of sharing your progress with someone else can provide the external motivation needed to stay focused and avoid procrastination. In conclusion, managing distractions and staying focused are essential skills for achieving success. By recognizing your distractions, setting clear goals, creating a distraction-free environment, and taking care of your mental and physical well-being, you can increase your productivity and focus. Remember, it's not about eliminating distractions entirely, but learning how to manage them effectively. When you stay focused on your goals, you can make steady progress, overcome obstacles, and ultimately achieve the success you desire. Chapter 10. Building Momentum by Starting Small. Momentum is a powerful force that can carry you forward toward your goals with ease. However, one of the biggest obstacles to building momentum is the idea that you need to take giant leaps from the start. Many people hesitate to take action because they believe they must have everything figured out before moving forward. The truth is, momentum begins with small, simple steps. In this chapter, we'll explore how starting small is the key to building momentum and how even the tiniest actions can lead to massive progress over time. The first step in building momentum is recognizing that every big achievement starts with a small action. No one wakes up and immediately runs a marathon or writes a best-selling book. Success is built over time, through consistent effort, and starting small is the first step in creating that consistency. The key is to focus on the first step, no matter how small it may seem. By taking that step, you begin the process of creating forward motion that will compound as you continue. Starting small also reduces the overwhelming pressure that often comes with large goals. When you look at a massive goal, it can feel like an insurmountable task. You may feel paralyzed by the thought of how much work is ahead. But when you break that goal down into smaller, more manageable steps, it becomes much easier to take action. Each small step is a victory in itself, and these small wins quickly accumulate, creating momentum that pushes you forward. One of the benefits of starting small is that it helps you avoid burnout. Many people dive into a new project with full force, only to burn out after a few days or weeks because they've taken on too much too soon. When you start small, you allow yourself the time and energy to build gradually. This slower pace helps maintain your focus, energy, and enthusiasm over the long term, allowing you to make steady progress without feeling overwhelmed. Another advantage of starting small is that it helps you build confidence. When you complete a small task, you gain a sense of accomplishment that motivates you to take the next step. This small success creates a ripple effect that fuels your desire to keep going. Each time you complete a step, no matter how small, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of achieving your goals. As your confidence grows, so does your momentum. Starting small also allows you to gain clarity. When you take small, deliberate actions, you start to see the path forward more clearly. It's easy to get bogged down in the details when you try to plan everything at once, but by taking one small step at a time, you begin to gain insight into what works and what doesn't. These small actions give you the feedback you need to adjust and refine your approach as you go, ensuring that you stay on track toward your ultimate goal. Small actions are also easier to commit to. Often, people hesitate to start because they feel they don't have enough time or energy to dedicate to a big project. But when you start with small, manageable tasks, you remove this barrier. Small actions require less time and energy, making it easier to commit to them consistently. By building the habit of taking small actions, you create a foundation that will carry you toward larger tasks over time. As you continue to take small steps, you begin to build momentum. The more you take action, the more natural it becomes to continue. Momentum is like a snowball. It starts small but grows larger as it picks up speed. Each small task you complete adds to the momentum, making it easier to take the next step. Over time, what once felt like an insurmountable challenge becomes a series of manageable tasks that you can tackle with confidence and ease. Starting small also reduces the fear of failure. The fear of making mistakes often holds people back from taking action, especially when they are faced with a large goal. But by starting small, you lower the stakes. Each small step is less intimidating, and the risk of failure feels more manageable. This makes it easier to take action, knowing that even if things don't go perfectly, the consequences are relatively minor. By embracing the idea that failure is part of the process, you begin to overcome the fear that holds you back from starting. One way to start small is by focusing on daily habits. Building habits around your goals is one of the most effective ways to create momentum. Small daily actions, such as writing for 10 minutes each day or exercising for 15 minutes, accumulate over time, creating significant progress. When you make these small habits a part of your daily routine, they become automatic, and you begin to build the momentum needed to achieve your larger goals. Another important aspect of starting small is that it allows for flexibility. When you start with a small step, you give yourself room to adjust your approach as you learn and grow. Flexibility is essential because not every plan will work perfectly the first time. By starting small, you can make adjustments along the way, ensuring that you stay on track toward your ultimate goal without feeling locked into one rigid path. Small steps also provide you with regular feedback. As you take action, you begin to see results, even if they are small at first. This feedback is invaluable because it allows you to see what's working and what's not. It also helps you build momentum, as each positive result reinforces your commitment to continuing. Whether it's a small improvement or a new insight, each piece of feedback propels you forward. Starting small also helps you stay focused. When you break your goal down into manageable steps, it's easier to concentrate on one thing at a time. Multitasking often leads to distractions and inefficiency, but by focusing on one small task at a time, you improve your ability to concentrate and make progress. This single-tasking approach helps you maintain focus, which is crucial for building momentum and staying on track toward your goal. Another way that starting small helps is by giving you a sense of control. When you start with small tasks, you feel more in control of the process. You know exactly what needs to be done, and you can tackle each task at your own pace. This sense of control helps you stay motivated and focused as you don't feel overwhelmed by the size of the task at hand. Starting small also makes it easier to overcome resistance. Often, the hardest part of achieving a goal is overcoming the initial resistance to getting started. Once you take that first step, the resistance begins to diminish. Starting small lowers the barrier to entry, making it easier to begin. Each small task you complete builds confidence and reduces the mental resistance that makes it difficult to take action. Small wins are powerful motivators. Each small success reinforces your belief in your ability to achieve your larger goal. As you complete small tasks, you build a sense of accomplishment and motivation to keep going. These small wins create positive momentum, encouraging you to take the next step. Over time, these small successes add up, leading to bigger accomplishments and ultimately the achievement of your larger goal. By starting small, you create a sustainable pace for achieving your goals. Rapid progress may feel satisfying in the short term, but it often leads to burnout. Starting small allows you to pace yourself, making progress in a way that is sustainable over the long term. This steady pace ensures that you maintain your motivation and energy even when the road ahead feels long. Small steps also help you build a growth mindset. Each small task is an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. The more you take action, the more you discover about yourself, your goals, and the process. By starting small, you shift your focus from the outcome to the process, which allows you to embrace learning and growth rather than fixating on perfection. In conclusion, building momentum by starting small is the key to achieving any goal. By focusing on small, manageable steps, you make progress without overwhelming yourself. Small actions compound over time, creating momentum that propels you forward toward larger accomplishments. The key to success is not taking giant leaps, but rather taking consistent, small steps that add up over time. Remember, every big achievement begins with the first small step, and that momentum will carry you further than you ever imagined. Chapter 11. The Role of Persistence in Long-Term Success. Persistence is one of the most important qualities that separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up when faced with challenges. It is the ability to continue striving toward a goal, despite obstacles, setbacks, or failures. In this chapter, we explore the crucial role that persistence plays in long-term success and how cultivating a persistent mindset can lead to meaningful achievements over time. The first key to understanding persistence is recognizing that success rarely comes overnight. For most people, the path to success is a long, winding journey filled with challenges, delays, and even failures. What sets successful individuals apart is their refusal to give up, even when the going gets tough. They understand that persistence is the foundation of long-term success, and that, over time, consistent effort will ultimately lead to results. Persistence requires the ability to stay committed to your goals, even when things aren't progressing as quickly as you'd like. In a world where instant gratification is often sought, persistence is a rare and valuable trait. It requires patience and the willingness to work steadily toward your goals, no matter how long it takes. Those who persist understand that meaningful accomplishments take time and that they will face hurdles along the way. One of the core elements of persistence is the ability to view setbacks as part of the process rather than as failures. Every person who has achieved success has faced moments of failure, disappointment, and frustration. What matters is not the setback itself, but how you respond to it. Persistent people see obstacles as temporary and use them as opportunities to learn, adjust, and try again. They know that every failure is a stepping stone toward eventual success. Another key aspect of persistence is maintaining a clear vision of your goal. When you are working toward something important, distractions and difficulties are inevitable. Without a clear vision, it becomes easy to lose focus or abandon your efforts altogether. Persistence requires a strong sense of purpose and direction. Successful people are able to keep their eyes on the prize, even when the path is unclear or difficult to navigate. Their commitment to their vision keeps them moving forward, no matter the obstacles. Persistence also involves a willingness to adapt and adjust your approach when necessary. Sometimes persistence doesn't mean sticking to the same exact plan when things aren't working. Instead, it means being open to finding new ways to achieve your goal. People who are persistent are flexible in their methods and willing to pivot when they encounter roadblocks. They understand that there is more than one path to success and are not afraid to explore different routes when necessary. One of the challenges of persistence is managing frustration and discouragement. It's natural to feel disheartened when progress is slow or when you encounter setbacks, but persistent individuals don't allow these feelings to derail them. They understand that negative emotions are part of the process and choose to push through them. Persistence is about maintaining a positive attitude and focusing on progress rather than perfection. By learning to manage frustration and keep moving forward, you build the resilience necessary for long-term success. Building persistence also requires developing mental toughness. Mental toughness is the ability to stay focused and keep going, even when faced with adversity or discomfort. It's about pushing through the hard times and trusting that your efforts will pay off in the end. Mental toughness allows you to overcome the obstacles that might stop others in their tracks. It's the foundation upon which persistence is built, and it plays a crucial role in helping you stay on track toward your goals. Persistence is not about blind stubbornness. It's about maintaining your commitment to the goal, while also being wise enough to adjust your approach when needed. Many people get caught up in the idea that persistence means doing the same thing over and over, regardless of the outcome. However, persistence also means being open to change and learning from experience. Those who persist long-term know that flexibility, combined with determination, is key to success. Another important aspect of persistence is staying consistent, even when you don't see immediate results. Success doesn't always come quickly, and it's easy to become discouraged when progress is slow. Persistent individuals keep working toward their goals, even when the results aren't immediately visible. They trust that their efforts are accumulating and that success is the product of consistent, ongoing action. This long-term commitment to the process is what ultimately leads to breakthroughs and achievements. The importance of persistence is evident in the stories of many successful people. Whether it's entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, or scientists, the individuals who have achieved lasting success often share a common trait: persistence. They faced countless failures, rejections, and difficulties, yet they continued to push forward. For them, persistence was the key to overcoming adversity and ultimately reaching their goals. Persistence also involves developing a growth mindset. People with a growth mindset believe that their abilities and intelligence can be developed over time through effort and learning. They view challenges as opportunities to improve, rather than as threats to their competence. This mindset makes it easier to persist, even when things don't go as planned. Those with a growth mindset see setbacks as temporary and solvable, which fuels their persistence. Sometimes persistence means simply taking small steps forward, even when the big picture feels overwhelming. It's easy to become discouraged when you focus on how far you have to go, but persistent people know that even the smallest progress is still progress. They take one step at a time, focusing on the next task, rather than the whole mountain. This gradual approach to persistence makes large goals feel more attainable and helps maintain motivation throughout the journey. Persistence is also closely tied to passion. When you are passionate about something, it's easier to stay committed to it, even when the going gets tough. Passion fuels persistence because it provides the energy and motivation needed to keep going. When you are deeply invested in your goal, the obstacles you encounter feel more like challenges to overcome than insurmountable roadblocks. Passion makes the pursuit of success feel worthwhile, no matter how long it takes. The role of persistence also extends beyond personal goals. When you work in a team or collaborate with others, persistence can be a contagious quality. A team of individuals who are persistent in their efforts can overcome obstacles together and achieve great things. Persistence in a group setting means supporting one another through setbacks, encouraging each other to keep moving forward, and staying committed to the collective goal. The power of persistence is amplified when it is shared among like-minded individuals. Another benefit of persistence is that it helps you build a reputation for reliability and dedication. In both personal and professional settings, people respect those who demonstrate persistence. When you follow through on your commitments, even in the face of adversity, others take notice. A reputation for persistence can open doors to new opportunities and help you gain the trust and respect of others. Success is often a result of not just talent, but the ability to keep going when others give up. Persistence also encourages self-discipline. To persist over the long term, you must develop the ability to focus, work hard, and maintain a steady pace. Self-discipline is the driving force behind persistence, as it enables you to continue putting in the effort even when you don't feel motivated. By developing self-discipline, you make it easier to maintain your commitment to your goals, regardless of external circumstances. Moreover, persistence teaches patience. In our fast-paced world, it can be difficult to be patient, especially when progress is slow. However, persistence requires the ability to wait for results, knowing that the effort you put in today will pay off in the future. Patience allows you to stay focused on the process, rather than constantly chasing immediate results. When you learn to be patient and trust the process, persistence becomes a natural part of your success journey. Persistence also builds emotional resilience. The road to success is filled with challenges, and the ability to bounce back after setbacks is essential. Every time you face an obstacle and continue moving forward, you build mental and emotional strength. This resilience makes it easier to handle future challenges with confidence and optimism. Persistent individuals don't let failures define them. Instead, they use failures as stepping stones to greater success. In conclusion, persistence is the foundation of long-term success. It requires patience, resilience, and a willingness to learn from failure. Persistent individuals are committed to their goals, even when faced with setbacks, and they understand that success is the result of consistent, ongoing effort. Whether pursuing personal or professional goals, persistence enables you to overcome obstacles, stay focused on the long-term vision, and ultimately achieve the success you desire. By developing and cultivating persistence, you unlock the power to reach your highest potential. Persistence also plays a key role in refining your strategies and methods. As you move forward, you will likely encounter obstacles or realize that certain methods aren't working as effectively as you thought. Persistent individuals don't view these moments as failures, but as opportunities to pivot, adjust, and fine-tune their approach. They are not discouraged by missteps, but instead embrace them as valuable learning experiences. Each adjustment along the way brings them closer to their desired result, proving that persistence is as much about flexibility and improvement as it is about staying on track. One of the challenges many face when pursuing long-term success is maintaining consistent effort without immediate rewards. Society often places high value on quick results, but true success is built over time. People who persist understand that the rewards will come, but it may take months or even years to see the full payoff. This ability to maintain effort over the long term, without immediate gratification, is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. Building persistence requires internal motivation and the ability to trust that your efforts will eventually yield fruit. Persistence also helps you develop problem-solving skills. When you persist in the face of adversity, you are constantly thinking of ways to overcome challenges. This constant problem-solving improves your critical thinking skills and helps you approach future obstacles with a calm, solutions-oriented mindset. The more problems you face and solve, the more capable you become in managing challenges, making you more resilient and effective in achieving your goals. Another important aspect of persistence is learning to embrace discomfort. Achieving long-term success often means stepping outside of your comfort zone and facing difficult, unfamiliar situations. Persistent individuals understand that growth happens in moments of discomfort. Rather than avoiding challenges or difficult situations, they lean into them, knowing that these experiences will teach them valuable lessons. By embracing discomfort, they become more adaptable and prepared for the unexpected. Persistent individuals also tend to develop strong time management skills. Because they are committed to their goals, they learn how to prioritize tasks, eliminate distractions, and manage their time effectively. Time management is a crucial skill in achieving long-term success because it allows you to focus on what truly matters and avoid wasting time on less important tasks. By practicing persistence, you learn to make the most of your time and continue working steadily toward your objectives. Persistence fosters a deep sense of personal responsibility. When you commit to a goal, you take full responsibility for your progress and setbacks. You don't blame others or external factors for delays or failures. Instead, you look inward and ask what you can do to improve. This sense of responsibility empowers you to take action and make decisions that align with your long-term vision. Persistence requires accountability, and by developing this trait, you enhance your ability to stay on track and accomplish your goals. As you continue down the path of persistence, you also build a strong sense of identity and confidence. Persistent individuals develop a deep belief in their ability to achieve success, even when the odds are against them. This self-assurance comes from the repeated actions they take, which prove to them that they are capable of overcoming challenges. Each small victory, no matter how minor it may seem, reinforces their belief in their abilities and keeps them focused on their larger goals. Persistence is also a key factor in developing emotional intelligence. The ability to navigate setbacks, frustrations, and challenges without losing your cool is a hallmark of emotional intelligence. Persistent individuals learn to manage their emotions and maintain a positive attitude even when things are not going as planned. They understand that setbacks are temporary and do not let negative emotions control their behavior. By building emotional resilience, they are better equipped to handle future obstacles and continue working toward their goals. The power of persistence is often amplified when you have a clear sense of purpose. Purpose-driven individuals are naturally more persistent because they have a deep connection to the work they are doing. When you are motivated by a cause or a vision that is bigger than yourself, you are more willing to push through challenges and keep going, even when things get tough. Having a sense of purpose gives you the drive to continue, even when motivation is low or obstacles arise. In addition to purpose, passion plays a significant role in fueling persistence. When you are passionate about something, persistence becomes easier because you are emotionally invested in the outcome. Passion keeps you motivated during difficult times and fuels your desire to continue working even when progress seems slow. Passion for your work also helps you maintain focus and enthusiasm, making the journey toward your goals feel more fulfilling and meaningful. Persistence also teaches you the value of delayed gratification. Many people struggle with the impatience that comes with working toward long-term goals, but persistent individuals understand that success is a gradual process. They are willing to make short-term sacrifices for long-term rewards, whether that means delaying pleasure, working extra hours, or making temporary sacrifices to reach their objectives. Delayed gratification is a powerful tool in the pursuit of long-term success because it enables you to stay focused on the bigger picture rather than getting distracted by short-term distractions. Persistence is not about being inflexible. While persistence means continuing to work toward your goals, it's important to recognize when adjustments are needed. The most successful individuals are those who stay persistent but are also open to evolving their strategies when faced with new information or changing circumstances. Flexibility within persistence is key to adapting and improving. It's not about stubbornly sticking to a plan that isn't working, but rather about persisting through the challenges while adjusting your approach when necessary. One of the strongest benefits of persistence is the ability to inspire others. When people see your unwavering commitment to your goals, they are often inspired to adopt a similar mindset. Persistence is contagious, and your dedication can encourage those around you to stay focused on their own goals. By setting an example of persistence, you help create a culture of determination and hard work that inspires others to push through their own challenges and obstacles. Persistence is a long-term investment in yourself. The more you persist, the more you learn, grow, and develop. Success is not just about achieving a specific outcome, it's about the transformation that occurs in the process. Every obstacle you overcome, every challenge you face, builds your character and strengthens your resilience. The journey of persistence is just as important, if not more important, than the end result, because it shapes who you become along the way. Another critical element of persistence is the ability to celebrate progress, no matter how small. Too often, we wait until we've achieved a major goal to acknowledge our efforts. However, persistent individuals understand the importance of celebrating small victories. These celebrations help maintain motivation, build momentum, and remind you that progress is happening, even if it's not immediately visible. By celebrating small wins, you reinforce the belief that you are moving closer to your goal and stay motivated to keep going. Persistence also builds a deep sense of satisfaction. There is a unique fulfillment that comes from working toward a goal over time and finally seeing the results of your efforts. This sense of accomplishment comes not only from achieving the goal, but from the journey itself. The challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt all contribute to the sense of pride and satisfaction that comes with long-term success. The act of persisting, regardless of the outcome, provides a sense of fulfillment that is deeply rewarding. In conclusion, persistence is the cornerstone of long-term success. It is about the consistent, ongoing effort to reach your goals despite setbacks, challenges, or failures. Through persistence, you build resilience, mental toughness, and the ability to adapt. Persistence allows you to stay focused on the process, develop emotional strength, and achieve success, even when the road ahead seems long and difficult. The key to achieving your dreams is not in avoiding obstacles, but in continuing to move forward in spite of them. By embracing persistence, you unlock the power to create lasting change in your life. Chapter 12. Learning from mistakes and moving forward. Mistakes are an inevitable part of life, yet many people fear making them. This fear can prevent them from taking action or trying new things, as they become paralyzed by the thought of failing. However, mistakes are one of the most powerful tools for growth and learning. In this chapter, we will explore the crucial role that mistakes play in personal development, how to learn from them effectively, and how to use them as stepping stones toward future success. The first step in learning from mistakes is changing how you view them. Many people perceive mistakes as failures, but this mindset can be limiting. Instead, view mistakes as opportunities for growth. They provide valuable feedback that shows you what doesn't work and offers a chance to adjust your approach. Mistakes are not indicators of incompetence, but are simply part of the learning process. When you embrace this perspective, mistakes no longer hold you back. They propel you forward. One of the keys to learning from mistakes is taking responsibility for them. It's easy to blame others or external circumstances when things go wrong, but doing so prevents you from learning and growing. Taking ownership of your mistakes allows you to reflect on what went wrong and what you could do differently in the future. This self-awareness is crucial for personal growth because it empowers you to make better decisions and avoid repeating the same mistakes. After acknowledging your mistake, the next step is to analyze it. What went wrong? Why did it happen? What can you learn from this experience? Mistakes are valuable learning tools if you take the time to reflect on them. By understanding the root cause of a mistake, you can gain insights into your decision-making process, your behavior, and the factors that led to the error. This analysis helps you identify patterns and make adjustments in your approach, increasing the likelihood of success in the future. An important part of learning from mistakes is being kind to yourself. Many people become overly self-critical after making a mistake, leading to feelings of shame, guilt, or inadequacy. However, self-compassion is essential for moving forward. Understand that everyone makes mistakes, and they do not define who you are. Instead of focusing on the negative aspects of the mistake, focus on the lessons learned and the steps you can take to improve. Self-compassion allows you to bounce back from mistakes with a positive mindset and the motivation to try again. It's also essential to maintain a growth mindset when you make mistakes. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. People with a growth mindset view mistakes as opportunities to learn rather than as failures. When you adopt this mindset, you're more likely to persist in the face of setbacks and continue learning from your mistakes. The ability to see mistakes as part of the process rather than as a final defeat is key to moving forward and achieving success. One of the most powerful ways to learn from mistakes is to seek feedback. Sometimes we are too close to a situation to see what went wrong or how to improve. Asking for feedback from others, whether from a mentor, colleague, or friend, can provide valuable perspectives. Constructive criticism helps you identify areas for improvement and provides guidance on how to correct course. Seeking feedback also shows a willingness to grow and improve, which is a critical aspect of learning from mistakes. When you make a mistake, it's important to not dwell on it for too long. While it's valuable to reflect on what went wrong, excessive rumination can prevent you from moving forward. Overthinking mistakes can lead to feelings of regret or self-doubt, which can paralyze you from taking action in the future. Instead, focus on how to move forward and what you can do differently next time. Embrace the lessons from the mistake, but do not allow it to define your next steps. Mistakes also help build resilience. Every time you face a setback or make a mistake, you develop the emotional strength to overcome challenges. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, and learning from mistakes is a key part of building this trait. The more mistakes you make and learn from, the more resilient you become. Resilience enables you to approach future challenges with confidence, knowing that you have the ability to handle whatever comes your way. Another benefit of learning from mistakes is that it helps you develop problem-solving skills. Mistakes often occur because we don't have the perfect solution or approach to a problem. When you make a mistake, you're forced to think critically and creatively to find a solution. This process of problem-solving not only helps you recover from the mistake, but also strengthens your ability to handle future challenges. The more mistakes you make and learn from, the better you become at solving problems and navigating obstacles. Mistakes are also a great teacher of humility. When things don't go as planned, It's a reminder that no one is immune to failure. Humility allows you to accept your mistakes with grace and to recognize that everyone, no matter how successful, has room for growth. This humility keeps you grounded and open to learning, both from your mistakes and from others. It helps you remain open to new ideas, feedback, and approaches, which is essential for continuous improvement. Another important lesson from mistakes is the importance of perseverance. Many people make mistakes and, rather than learning from them, become discouraged and give up. However, persistence is one of the keys to success. Mistakes are not a reason to quit. They are an opportunity to adjust, learn, and try again. Every successful person has faced setbacks, but what sets them apart is their ability to persist through adversity. By learning from your mistakes and continuing to move forward, you build the perseverance necessary to achieve your goals. Mistakes also teach you to take calculated risks. Fear of making mistakes often leads people to avoid taking risks altogether, but this stunts growth. Learning from mistakes helps you become more comfortable with risk-taking. Instead of fearing mistakes, you begin to see them as opportunities to learn and grow. This shift in mindset allows you to take bold, calculated risks that move you closer to your goals. You become less afraid of making mistakes because you know that they are not only inevitable, but valuable. One of the ways to accelerate learning from mistakes is to document them. Keeping a journal or log of your mistakes and the lessons learned can help you track your progress and identify recurring patterns. By reviewing your mistakes over time, you can see how much you've grown and how your decision-making has improved. This reflection reinforces the idea that mistakes are a necessary part of success and helps you approach future challenges with more insight and wisdom. Another critical element of learning from mistakes is being willing to forgive yourself. Many people find it difficult to move on after making a mistake because they harbor feelings of guilt or regret. However, holding on to these negative emotions only holds you back. Self-forgiveness is essential for moving forward. Acknowledge the mistake, learn from it, and then let it go. When you forgive yourself, you release the emotional burden that comes with making mistakes and create space for growth and progress. It's also helpful to share your mistakes and lessons with others. When you openly discuss your mistakes and the lessons you've learned, you not only gain insight from others, but also help them avoid making the same mistakes. Sharing your experiences creates a culture of learning and growth, and it encourages others to be open about their own mistakes. By openly talking about mistakes, you remove the stigma around failure and make it easier for everyone to learn and grow. Learning from mistakes also involves being patient with yourself. Personal growth takes time, and it's unrealistic to expect that you will immediately apply every lesson perfectly. There will be times when you repeat mistakes or struggle to implement what you've learned. This is all part of the process. Be patient with yourself and recognize that every step, even the setbacks, contributes to your overall growth. As long as you continue to learn and adjust, you are moving in the right direction. Mistakes are a reminder that success is a journey, not a destination. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that success is something to be achieved quickly. But the truth is, the most successful individuals often take a long, winding road to get there. Mistakes are part of that journey, and they contribute to the lessons, experiences, and wisdom that lead to eventual success. Embrace the process and trust that, with each mistake, you are getting closer to your goals. In conclusion, learning from mistakes and moving forward is a crucial part of personal growth and success. Mistakes offer valuable lessons that help you refine your approach, build resilience, and develop problem-solving skills. When you approach mistakes with a mindset of learning rather than fear, you unlock the power to continuously improve and achieve your goals. By embracing mistakes as opportunities to grow, you become more adaptable, confident, and capable of achieving lasting success. The process of learning from mistakes is a constant cycle that involves reflection, adaptation, and growth. Each time you make a mistake and learn from it, you deepen your understanding of the world around you and your own capabilities. This iterative learning process strengthens your character and prepares you for future challenges. As you move forward, you'll find that you're able to handle increasingly complex situations with greater ease as you build upon the knowledge gained from past errors. Mistakes also teach you the importance of perseverance in the face of adversity. It's easy to become disheartened when things don't go as planned, but the ability to keep going after making a mistake is essential to success. Rather than viewing mistakes as setbacks, resilient individuals see them as part of the journey. They understand that progress is not linear and that setbacks are simply temporary obstacles to be overcome. With each mistake, you become more persistent, learning to push through adversity and continue working toward your goals. The key to overcoming the emotional burden of mistakes is developing emotional intelligence. When you learn to manage your emotions, you prevent frustration, disappointment, or anger from overwhelming you after making a mistake. Emotional intelligence enables you to process these emotions constructively and use them to fuel your next steps, rather than letting them derail your progress. By developing emotional resilience, you build the strength to recover quickly from mistakes and use those experiences to fuel your continued growth. One powerful way to learn from mistakes is to teach others what you have learned. Sharing your experiences with others not only helps them avoid the same mistakes, but also reinforces the lessons you've learned. When you articulate what you've learned, you gain a deeper understanding of the lessons yourself. Teaching others makes you more accountable to the lessons you've learned, and in turn, it strengthens your own growth. This exchange of knowledge also creates a supportive environment where people can learn from each other's mistakes, accelerating collective progress. Learning from mistakes is also about being proactive in seeking out opportunities for feedback. Often, we think we can improve on our own, but seeking feedback from others can provide fresh perspectives and uncover blind spots. Asking for feedback doesn't mean you failed. Rather, it's an acknowledgement that there is always room for improvement. By soliciting feedback from trusted individuals, you can better understand what went wrong and how you can approach similar situations differently in the future. Mistakes are also an important part of building self-trust. When you make a mistake, it's important not to abandon yourself or lose confidence in your abilities. Instead, embrace the mistake as a part of your learning process. As you move forward and make better decisions based on the lessons learned, you reinforce your trust in yourself and your ability to navigate challenges. Over time, this self-trust becomes a solid foundation upon which you can build future successes. The habit of learning from mistakes also fosters humility. No matter how experienced or skilled you become, there will always be moments of failure. Embracing mistakes with humility allows you to remain open to learning and growing. It prevents arrogance and helps you stay grounded, recognizing that everyone has the capacity to make errors, no matter how much experience they have. Humility in the face of mistakes encourages a growth mindset and allows you to remain receptive to new ideas, experiences, and insights. Another powerful lesson from mistakes is that perfection is not the goal. When you make a mistake, it's a reminder that perfection is an unrealistic standard. Mistakes challenge the belief that everything must be flawless, teaching you that growth and improvement come from learning and adapting. The willingness to accept imperfection as a natural part of the process frees you from the paralysis that perfectionism often brings. It allows you to embrace progress, even if it's imperfect, and to continue moving forward with confidence. Learning from mistakes also strengthens your ability to make better decisions in the future. Each mistake provides you with valuable data that informs future choices. By analyzing your past errors, you can identify patterns in your thinking, behavior, and decision-making. This self-awareness helps you avoid making the same mistakes again and allows you to make more informed, thoughtful decisions as you move forward. Mistakes, therefore, are not just failures. They are opportunities to refine your judgment and become a more discerning decision-maker. When you embrace the lessons that mistakes offer, you also learn to embrace risk. Many people avoid taking risks because they fear failure. However, mistakes often occur when you step outside your comfort zone and take risks. Learning from mistakes helps you understand that failure is not something to fear, but something to learn from. With this mindset, you become more willing to take calculated risks, knowing that the potential for growth far outweighs the fear of failure. Mistakes also build perseverance in the face of adversity. When you make a mistake, you're forced to face the reality of the situation, and often this means you must persevere through challenges and frustrations. By continuing to push forward, despite setbacks, you strengthen your resolve and become more determined. Perseverance in the face of mistakes is what allows you to build momentum toward your goals. Over time, this determination and resilience will make it easier to handle larger challenges and achieve even greater success. As you learn from your mistakes, you also develop greater self-discipline. Discipline involves maintaining focus and commitment even in the face of setbacks. The ability to persevere through mistakes and continue moving forward is a hallmark of self-discipline. The more you persist through challenges, the stronger your discipline becomes. This ability to maintain focus and continue taking action, even after mistakes, is a crucial part of achieving long-term success. Mistakes also help you build patience. Patience is necessary for long-term success, and making mistakes teaches you to be patient with the process. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to become impatient and frustrated. However, by learning from mistakes, you develop the patience needed to keep working toward your goals without expecting instant results. Patience helps you maintain perspective and continue taking action, even when progress seems slow. It's also important to remember that learning from mistakes is a lifelong process. No one ever stops making mistakes, and no one ever stops learning. The key to success is not avoiding mistakes, but using them as stepping stones for continued growth. Each mistake provides a new lesson, a new opportunity to improve, and a new chance to move closer to your goals. By adopting this mindset, you embrace lifelong learning and continuous improvement, which are essential for long-term success. Learning from mistakes also teaches you to be adaptable. Life is unpredictable, and you can't control every situation. The ability to learn from mistakes allows you to adapt to new circumstances and adjust your approach when things don't go as planned. This adaptability is essential for overcoming obstacles and finding creative solutions. The more mistakes you make and learn from, the more flexible and resourceful you become in facing future challenges. Lastly, it's important to celebrate the lessons learned from mistakes. While it's easy to focus on the negative aspects of making a mistake, it's essential to celebrate the growth and learning that result from it. Recognize that each mistake has brought you one step closer to becoming a more skilled, knowledgeable, and capable person. By reframing mistakes as valuable experiences, you empower yourself to continue pursuing your goals with confidence and enthusiasm. In conclusion, learning from mistakes and moving forward is a key to long-term success. Mistakes provide valuable insights, foster personal growth, and help you become more resilient, adaptable, and resourceful. By embracing mistakes as part of the process, rather than something to be feared or avoided, you unlock the power to continue growing and progressing toward your goals. The most successful people are those who see mistakes as learning opportunities and use them to fuel their continued success. Embrace the lessons that mistakes provide and move forward with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. Chapter 13: The Power of Routine and Habits for Simplicity. The power of routine and habits cannot be overstated, especially when it comes to achieving simplicity in a chaotic world. When life becomes overwhelming, creating a structure through routines and consistent habits is one of the most effective ways to simplify your daily activities, reduce stress, and increase productivity. Routines and habits act as the foundation for a smooth, efficient, and fulfilling life. In this chapter, we will explore how to harness the power of routines and habits to simplify your life, boost your productivity, and ultimately lead you toward long-term success. The first key to understanding the power of routine is recognizing that routines free up mental energy. Every day we make countless decisions, from what to eat for breakfast to how we organize our time. These seemingly small decisions can drain our mental energy and cause unnecessary stress. A routine eliminates the need to make these decisions constantly, allowing your brain to conserve energy for more important tasks. With a set routine, your actions become automatic, reducing decision fatigue and freeing up cognitive resources to focus on bigger goals. Building a routine also helps you prioritize what matters most. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to lose track of what's important. However, when you establish a routine, you create a structure that ensures you dedicate time to your priorities. Whether it's making time for exercise, reading, or working on a passion project, routines help you allocate time to activities that align with your values and long-term objectives. This prioritization helps you focus on what truly matters instead of getting caught up in distractions. Habits are the building blocks of a successful routine. While routines provide the overall structure, habits are the actions you repeat consistently within that framework. The power of habits lies in their ability to become automatic. When you engage in a behavior regularly, it becomes ingrained in your brain, requiring less conscious effort over time. Positive habits, like exercising in the morning or reading every night before bed, contribute to a more productive and fulfilling life by becoming second nature. The beauty of habits is that they compound over time. A small habit that seems insignificant today can lead to big results in the future. For example, reading just 10 pages a day may not seem like much, but over the course of a year, that habit can add up to 3,150 pages, more than many people read in an entire year. The key is consistency. By committing to small, positive habits each day, you set yourself up for long-term success, as these habits accumulate and create a cumulative effect. Another reason routines and habits are powerful is that they reduce the mental clutter that often comes with a lack of structure. When you don't have a clear plan for your day, your mind becomes scattered and you're more likely to feel overwhelmed. Routines create clarity by establishing a predictable flow to your day. When your actions become routine, you can rely on the structure to guide you through your tasks, allowing you to move from one activity to the next without confusion or indecision. One of the most powerful benefits of routines and habits is that they promote consistency. Consistency is key to achieving long-term success in any area of life, whether it's working toward a fitness goal, building a business, or improving a skill. Consistent effort is essential for progress. By establishing habits that you practice regularly, you ensure that you stay on track and continue to make incremental progress. Success is built on the foundation of consistent action, and routines help you stay committed to that action. Habits also make your goals more achievable. It's easy to feel intimidated by a large goal because it can seem like an overwhelming task. However, when you break that goal down into smaller, manageable habits, the process becomes much simpler. For instance, instead of focusing solely on losing 20 pounds, you can make it a habit to exercise for 30 minutes each day. By creating habits that align with your goals, you reduce the complexity of the process and make it easier to stay consistent. Creating a routine around self-care is also essential for maintaining balance and avoiding burnout. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to neglect our well-being in the midst of busy schedules and competing priorities. By incorporating self-care habits into your routine, whether it's taking a walk every day, journaling, meditating, or getting adequate sleep, you ensure that your physical and mental health remain a priority. Self-care habits replenish your energy, making it easier to stay focused and productive in other areas of your life. A key part of building a successful routine is understanding that it takes time to form lasting habits. Developing new habits doesn't happen overnight. It requires consistency, patience, and persistence. The initial stages of forming a habit can be challenging, but once the habit is ingrained, it becomes effortless. The more you repeat a behavior, the stronger the neural connections associated with that behavior become, making it easier and more automatic over time. Understanding that habit formation is a process helps you stay committed even when it feels difficult. It's important to start small when establishing new habits. Trying to implement too many changes at once can be overwhelming and lead to burnout. Instead, start with one small habit and focus on that until it becomes ingrained in your routine. Once that habit feels automatic, you can add another habit and gradually build a routine that aligns with your goals. By taking small, deliberate steps, you make the process more manageable and increase your chances of success. Routine and habits also allow you to be more mindful of your time. Time is one of the most valuable resources we have, and without a routine, it's easy to waste it on unimportant tasks. A well-structured routine helps you allocate your time effectively, ensuring that you're spending it on the things that matter most. Whether it's work, family, personal growth, or relaxation, a routine allows you to be intentional about how you use your time. Routines and habits also help you maintain focus by minimizing distractions. When you have a clear plan for your day, it becomes easier to avoid distractions that can derail your progress. You're less likely to be sidetracked by social media, procrastination, or other distractions when you know exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it. By sticking to your routine, you create an environment where distractions are minimized and focus is prioritized. Another benefit of routines and habits is that they provide a sense of accomplishment. Even on days when you don't feel like doing anything, simply following through with your routine can provide a sense of achievement. Completing small tasks and sticking to your habits reinforces the idea that you are in control of your day and your progress. These small wins add up over time and contribute to your overall success. Routines also foster a sense of stability and security. When life feels uncertain or chaotic, having a routine can provide comfort and a sense of control. A predictable daily routine helps ground you, providing structure in an otherwise unpredictable world. This stability is especially important during stressful times, as it helps you maintain balance and focus on your long-term goals, even when external circumstances feel out of your control. It's important to remember that routines don't have to be rigid. Flexibility within your routine is key to maintaining a sense of balance. Life is unpredictable, and unexpected events will arise. A good routine allows room for adjustments, ensuring that you can adapt when necessary without abandoning your goals. Flexibility within a routine helps you stay consistent while still being able to handle the inevitable changes and challenges life throws your way. To maximize the power of your routine, it's essential to track your progress. Keeping track of your habits and goals provides motivation and accountability. Whether it's through a habit tracker, journal, or calendar, recording your progress allows you to see how far you've come and how consistently you've followed your routine. This visual representation of progress serves as a reminder that your efforts are paying off, reinforcing the importance of consistency. One of the most important aspects of building a successful routine is self-reflection. Periodically reassess your routine to ensure that it's still aligned with your goals and values. As your life evolves, so should your routine. If something isn't working or no longer serves you, don't be afraid to adjust. Reflecting on your habits and making adjustments ensures that your routine remains effective and sustainable in the long term. Finally, routines and habits are powerful tools for achieving simplicity in your life. By establishing a routine, you eliminate the need for constant decision-making and reduce the mental clutter that can make life feel overwhelming. With a structured approach to your day, you can focus your energy on what truly matters, rather than being distracted by unnecessary tasks. Routines create the space for a simpler, more intentional life, allowing you to move through each day with purpose and clarity. In conclusion, the power of routine and habits lies in their ability to simplify and structure your life. Routines free up mental energy, reduce distractions, and help you focus on what truly matters. By building small, positive habits and committing to consistency, you can create a foundation for long-term success and personal growth. With routines in place, you empower yourself to make steady progress, achieve your goals, and live a more fulfilling and simplified life. The key is not to aim for perfection, but to stay consistent and trust that small, positive actions will lead to big results over time. Building a routine doesn't just simplify tasks, it simplifies decision-making. Decision fatigue is a real phenomenon that happens when we are forced to make too many decisions throughout the day, causing us to feel drained and overwhelmed. By establishing a set routine, you eliminate the need for unnecessary decisions. Simple things like when to eat, when to exercise, and when to work are predetermined, allowing you to focus your mental energy on more important decisions. With less decision-making fatigue, you're more equipped to make meaningful choices throughout the day. Another benefit of routines and habits is that they can improve your focus. When you have a well-established routine, it becomes easier to stay focused on the task at hand, because you know exactly what comes next. Rather than jumping from one task to another or getting distracted by external factors, your routine helps keep you on track, allowing you to direct your attention where it matters most. The consistency of your actions ensures that you're not wasting time, and it helps you stay mentally present, improving your overall performance and efficiency. Habits also play a significant role in reducing procrastination. It's easy to put things off when there's no structured plan in place. Without a clear routine, tasks often seem daunting and procrastination sets in. However, when a habit is part of your routine, it becomes a non-negotiable action. The habit of exercising, for example, becomes ingrained, and you don't have to waste energy deciding whether or not you should do it. The more ingrained a habit becomes, the less mental effort it requires, reducing the urge to procrastinate. Building habits also fosters a sense of ownership and accountability. When you make something a routine, you are actively taking responsibility for your own success. You no longer rely on external factors or motivation to get things done. You are in control. This sense of accountability empowers you to stay committed to your goals, even when challenges arise. Habits create a framework within which you can consistently show up and take the necessary actions to achieve your objectives, giving you greater control over your life. Moreover, a routine brings consistency, which is crucial for long-term success. Without consistency, even the most well-laid plans can falter. The beauty of a well-designed routine is that it ensures you are consistently working toward your goals, one small step at a time. Success isn't achieved through bursts of inspiration, but through consistent effort over time. A routine ensures that you're making steady progress, which over the long haul results in significant accomplishments. A strong routine also provides a sense of security. In uncertain times, having a daily routine can be a stabilizing factor. Routines create a sense of predictability and control, which is especially important during stressful or uncertain situations. Knowing that you have a set plan for your day gives you the confidence to face challenges without feeling overwhelmed by the unknown. This sense of security enhances your well-being and mental health, as it allows you to remain grounded, even when external circumstances are chaotic. Incorporating breaks and downtime into your routine is just as important as productivity. Too often, we neglect the importance of rest, thinking that the more we work, the better. However, a well-balanced routine includes breaks that allow for mental and physical recovery. Whether it's a short walk, a lunch break, or dedicated relaxation time, these pauses help prevent burnout and ensure that you remain productive and focused throughout the day. A routine that includes time for rest makes long-term productivity sustainable and healthy. Another key aspect of routines and habits is that they build momentum. When you establish positive habits and stick to them consistently, you create a cycle of progress that feeds into itself. Momentum is a powerful force that makes it easier to take the next step and keep moving forward. For example, once you establish the habit of exercising every day, you'll find that you're more inclined to continue because of the positive effects and the momentum you've built. Habits build on each other, creating a snowball effect that leads to long-term success. When it comes to routines, simplicity is key. The simpler your routine, the easier it is to stick to it. When routines are overly complicated or filled with too many tasks, they become overwhelming, making it difficult to stay consistent. Simplicity allows you to focus on the most important habits and actions that align with your goals. By stripping away unnecessary complexities, you create a routine that is manageable and sustainable. Simple routines also allow for greater flexibility, enabling you to adjust without feeling like you've failed or lost track. The power of routine and habits also lies in their ability to reduce stress. When you have a predictable routine, you don't have to waste time and energy worrying about what to do next. There's comfort in knowing that your day is already structured and you can simply follow the steps you've set for yourself. This sense of order reduces anxiety and allows you to approach your tasks with a calm and focused mindset. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you feel empowered by the consistency that a routine provides. Routines and habits also help you maintain a healthy work-life balance. Without a routine, it's easy to let work spill over into personal time, causing stress and burnout. When you establish clear boundaries in your routine, you ensure that you allocate time for both work and relaxation. This balance is crucial for long-term well-being, as it allows you to recharge and engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment outside of work. A balanced routine helps you maintain harmony between personal and professional life. In addition, Routines and habits help build self-discipline. Self-discipline is the ability to stay focused on long-term goals despite short-term temptations. By creating a structured routine, you are training yourself to act with purpose and consistency. Over time, this disciplined approach becomes automatic, making it easier to stay on track, even when distractions arise. Self-discipline allows you to resist the urge to procrastinate and stay committed to your priorities, no matter how challenging the path may seem. Consistency is also essential for building positive relationships. A predictable routine helps you prioritize time for socializing and connecting with others, ensuring that relationships don't fall by the wayside due to busyness or neglect. When you carve out time in your routine for friends and family, you create the space to nurture meaningful connections. Habits of communication and quality time contribute to stronger, more fulfilling relationships, which are crucial for emotional well-being. Creating a routine around your goals helps break down larger, overwhelming tasks into manageable parts. If you're trying to write a book, for example, a daily writing habit becomes a part of your routine. Instead of thinking about the massive task ahead, you focus on the small action you need to take each day. Gradually, the cumulative effect of these small tasks leads to the completion of your larger goal. By making your goals a part of your routine, you simplify the process and reduce the feelings of overwhelm that often come with long-term projects. Routines and habits also foster personal growth. By consistently dedicating time to learning, improving skills, and working toward your goals, you naturally evolve into a better version of yourself. Growth happens through consistent effort and incremental progress, and routines ensure that you continue to move forward. Habits like reading, journaling, or engaging in personal development activities become integral parts of your routine, enabling continuous self-improvement and fostering a mindset of growth. Routines help establish a sense of rhythm in your life. Just as music has a rhythm that makes it enjoyable to listen to, life itself can benefit from a rhythm. When your day follows a predictable structure, it feels smoother, and you're able to move through activities with greater ease. This rhythm creates a flow to your day, which not only makes tasks feel more manageable, but also makes your day more enjoyable overall. The simplicity and order that routines provide create a sense of harmony in your life. As your routines become ingrained, they begin to feel effortless. The initial resistance to new habits fades, and you start to see them as part of your identity. Habits like exercising, eating healthily, and dedicating time to work are no longer tasks that you need to force yourself to do. They become automatic, a part of who you are. This effortless consistency allows you to maintain momentum without requiring significant effort, making long-term success easier to achieve. In conclusion, the power of routine and habits lies in their ability to simplify life, reduce stress, and ensure consistency in achieving long-term success. By creating a structure for your day and building positive habits, you free up mental energy, maintain focus, and make steady progress toward your goals. Simplicity is key. By focusing on the most important habits and eliminating unnecessary complexity, you can create a routine that works for you. With routine and habits, you set yourself up for a more fulfilling, productive, and balanced life. The key is not perfection, but persistence, continuing to show up each day and take consistent action toward your goals. Creating a well-established routine not only enhances productivity, but also promotes mental clarity. When you know exactly what to expect from your day, it reduces the mental clutter that comes with trying to figure out what to do next. This clarity allows you to think more clearly, make better decisions, and approach tasks with a focused mindset. By simplifying your life through routines, you eliminate distractions, and the constant need to plan, allowing your mind to stay sharp and clear. Routines also encourage positive change by creating a structure within which new habits can thrive. Many people struggle to implement change because they feel overwhelmed by the process. However, when you break down the changes into smaller, manageable habits and embed them into your routine, they become easier to implement and sustain. Whether it's adopting healthier habits, starting a new project, or learning a new skill, routines provide the structure needed to make change a consistent part of your life. One often overlooked benefit of a strong routine is how it enables you to handle unexpected challenges. When your routine is established, you have a solid foundation to fall back on during times of uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and you may face unforeseen challenges or disruptions. However, when you've built a routine that is flexible yet consistent, you are better equipped to adapt and stay on course. A strong routine provides a sense of stability and resilience, which helps you manage unexpected obstacles with greater ease. In addition to providing stability, routines help you track your progress toward your long-term goals. Without a routine, it's easy to lose sight of how far you've come, especially if you're working on a large or long-term project. A well-structured routine breaks down your larger goals into smaller, actionable tasks. This approach allows you to measure your progress regularly and adjust your strategy as needed. Whether it's checking off small milestones or reflecting on your daily efforts, routines help you stay accountable to your progress. Another benefit of routines is that they help to minimize the time spent on unproductive activities. Without a routine, it's easy to get distracted by time-wasting habits, scrolling through social media, procrastinating, or engaging in mindless activities. Routines reduce the chances of falling into these distractions by providing a clear structure for how you spend your time. They also allow you to carve out time for the things that truly matter, whether it's work, self-care, or spending time with loved ones. Routines and habits also provide a sense of accomplishment at the end of each day. By completing the tasks and activities outlined in your routine, you build a sense of pride and satisfaction. This feeling of accomplishment not only boosts your self-esteem, but also motivates you to continue following your routine. Even if the tasks you complete seem small, the cumulative effect of completing your routine consistently over time adds up to significant achievements. Each day becomes a win, which fuels your progress and keeps you moving forward. Routines can help you identify and remove unnecessary tasks or habits from your day. When you establish a routine, you begin to notice which activities are truly productive and which ones are merely fillers. This awareness allows you to streamline your day, eliminate wasteful habits, and focus only on the activities that contribute to your long-term success. By removing distractions and non-essential tasks, you create more time for what matters, allowing you to be more intentional with your energy and focus. Another powerful aspect of routines is that they create an environment of consistency and dependability. When you have a routine, both you and others can rely on it. This consistency helps to reduce uncertainty in your life, giving you a greater sense of control. When your routine is predictable, it creates a rhythm that makes you more comfortable navigating challenges and decision-making. This sense of predictability builds trust in yourself and reinforces your belief in your ability to stick to your goals. The consistency built through routines can also improve your health and well-being. Good habits, such as eating healthy meals, exercising regularly, or getting enough sleep, become easier to implement when they are part of your routine. Health-related habits don't feel like burdens when they are embedded into your daily structure. They become second nature. Additionally, routines help reduce stress by eliminating the need to make constant decisions about when or how to engage in self-care or wellness activities. Routines also make it easier to maintain focus and productivity, especially when you're juggling multiple responsibilities. When you establish a routine, you assign specific time blocks to different activities, ensuring that each area of your life, whether work, family, or personal development, receives the attention it deserves. By sticking to this structured approach, you reduce the chances of neglecting important tasks. Routines give you a clear roadmap to follow, helping you stay organized and focused on what's most important. Developing routines also fosters a sense of self-discipline. Discipline is the foundation of consistency, and without it, routines may fall apart. However, when you commit to following through with your routine, even on the days when motivation is low, you strengthen your self-discipline. As you continue to show up for your routine, you reinforce your ability to stay focused and accomplish tasks, even when external motivation is absent. This self-discipline becomes a powerful force that propels you toward your goals, especially during challenging times. Another key benefit of routine building is that it helps reduce overwhelm. Many people feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of tasks they have to complete each day. However, by breaking those tasks into manageable chunks and incorporating them into your routine, you make them feel less daunting. A routine provides clarity, allowing you to tackle tasks one step at a time without feeling buried by the workload. When tasks are predictable and organized, they become less stressful and more achievable. Routines also give you the ability to plan for the future. While routines create structure for the present, they also allow you to set aside time for long-term planning. When you have a solid routine in place, you can easily integrate time for reflection, goal setting, or strategizing about the future. Having a routine frees up mental space, enabling you to think about your next steps without feeling rushed or overwhelmed. It gives you the ability to plan ahead and set clear intentions for the direction you want your life to go. The impact of routines and habits goes beyond productivity. They help you cultivate a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. When you engage in activities that align with your values and goals, and you make them a regular part of your routine, you create a life that feels more meaningful. Rather than going through the motions of the day, routines help you live intentionally, with each action contributing to your long-term vision. This purposeful approach to life adds a sense of fulfillment that makes your efforts more rewarding. Routines also help foster personal accountability. When you establish a routine, you are holding yourself accountable to the goals you've set for yourself. This sense of responsibility encourages you to follow through with your commitments, even when it's difficult or when motivation fades. By creating routines that align with your goals, you make it easier to stay on track and keep yourself accountable to the life you want to create. Another significant advantage of routines is that they can help you become more adaptable. While routines provide structure, they also encourage flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and no routine is perfect or immune to change. However, by developing a routine that allows for adjustments, you can learn to be adaptable in the face of disruptions. The key is not to rigidly follow a routine, but to use it as a guide while being open to changes and new opportunities that arise. By integrating routines into your life, you're not just adding structure, you're also building a strong sense of self-awareness. When you follow a routine consistently, you become more attuned to your needs, strengths, and weaknesses. This self-awareness helps you understand what works for you and what doesn't, allowing you to make adjustments as necessary. The more self-aware you become, the better equipped you are to create routines that support your long-term success and well-being. In conclusion, routines and habits are essential tools for creating simplicity, focus, and consistency in your life. By eliminating mental clutter, prioritizing important tasks, and maintaining structure, routines help you stay on track toward your goals. Habits make progress effortless, allowing you to consistently move forward without the need for constant motivation. Together, they create a framework for living a balanced, purposeful, and productive life. The power of routines lies not in perfection, but in consistency and intentionality, making them the foundation for long-term success. Incorporating routines into your life not only simplifies your day, but also enhances your decision-making ability. With a clear routine in place, you don't waste precious time figuring out what to do next. This clarity gives you the mental freedom to make better decisions in other areas of your life. The energy you would otherwise use to plan your day is redirected to focusing on key decisions that align with your larger goals. Over time, the efficiency gained from a structured routine amplifies your ability to make smarter, more effective choices. Moreover, routines help you manage your energy levels better throughout the day. When you follow a consistent routine, you naturally begin to understand your body's rhythms, when you're most productive, when you need rest, and when it's time to take action. By syncing your tasks with your energy levels, you optimize your productivity. Morning tasks may require more mental energy, while later tasks might be more about execution. By aligning your schedule with your natural patterns, you preserve energy and maintain a high level of performance. In addition to managing energy, routines can also help you prioritize your mental well-being. With mental health becoming an increasing concern in today's fast-paced world, having a daily routine that includes activities that promote relaxation and mindfulness can provide much-needed balance. Whether it's a few minutes of meditation in the morning, a journaling habit, or simply taking breaks throughout the day, these habits are an essential part of maintaining mental clarity. Prioritizing mental health within your routine helps prevent burnout and keeps you grounded, even when life gets hectic. One of the greatest benefits of routine is the sense of ownership and control it provides. When you have a set routine, it empowers you to take charge of your day and direct your time and energy toward what matters most. Instead of feeling as though you're simply reacting to external events, you feel more proactive in shaping your life. This sense of control enhances your overall confidence and helps you face challenges with a sense of purpose and determination. Building a routine is a powerful tool for creating long-term habits that promote success. Whether you're trying to write a book, get in better shape, or launch a business, a consistent routine makes these larger goals more manageable. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the enormity of your goals, you break them down into smaller, daily actions. These incremental steps help you gradually make progress, and over time, they add up to significant achievements. The more you show up for your routine, the closer you get to realizing your dreams. Routines can also encourage a sense of accountability, both to yourself and to others. When you create a routine that supports your goals, you're holding yourself accountable to your own growth. Whether it's committing to a fitness routine, setting aside time for work, or even developing personal skills, the act of showing up every day builds self-accountability. When you share your routines and goals with others, it adds another layer of accountability, as you're not just relying on yourself to stay on track, but also inviting others to be a part of your journey. Another aspect of building routines is that it can help improve your decision-making under pressure. When you have a routine in place, you're less likely to make decisions based on impulse or emotion. With a clear structure guiding your actions, you're able to step back, analyze your situation more objectively, and make decisions that align with your long-term objectives. Routines provide a sense of discipline that helps you make better choices, especially in stressful or high-pressure situations. Routines help you avoid the trap of comparison and the hustle culture mentality. In a world where everyone is constantly sharing their achievements, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others. Routines, however, help you focus on your own journey. When you develop a routine that aligns with your values and goals, you become more concerned with your progress than with how you measure up to others. This mindset shift is vital for mental well-being and for long-term success, as it allows you to maintain your unique path without getting distracted by external noise. Routines also give you the freedom to make decisions about what matters most. With a routine, you actively create time for things that align with your values, whether that's spending time with family, working on personal growth, or contributing to your community. Having a routine that is intentional and purpose-driven ensures that your time is spent in ways that contribute to your happiness and sense of fulfillment. Instead of living reactively, you live intentionally, ensuring that you prioritize your most meaningful goals. A well-designed routine can also help you combat procrastination by removing the decision-making process. When you have a routine in place, procrastination becomes much harder. You've already committed to a plan, and there's no room for overthinking or delaying actions. A routine removes the mental barrier that often causes procrastination, allowing you to just start. Over time, this consistency reduces the temptation to put things off, making it easier to follow through on your commitments. Routines also contribute to better time management. Effective time management is not about working harder, but about working smarter. With a routine, you can organize your day more efficiently, ensuring that you dedicate time to the most important tasks while also leaving space for rest, reflection, and personal time. This structure allows you to be more productive and intentional with your time, ensuring that you accomplish what you set out to do without feeling overburdened. Moreover, routines help you avoid decision paralysis. In today's world, we are bombarded with options, and having to make endless decisions throughout the day can lead to mental exhaustion and indecision. A routine takes the guesswork out of your day. It provides a structure and a framework for what to do next, eliminating the need for constant decision-making. This decision-making simplicity reduces stress and enhances your ability to stay on track toward your goals. Another important benefit of routines is that they can support long-term mental clarity and focus. When you consistently engage in routine activities, you begin to build a deeper sense of mental discipline. For example, by setting aside time every day to reflect or meditate, you create a space for clarity. This focused time improves your ability to prioritize, reduces mental clutter, and enhances your ability to tackle challenging tasks with a calm, clear mind. Routines help create mental space for reflection, improvement, and decision-making, which leads to greater productivity and progress. Building a routine that nurtures your growth can also lead to a sense of satisfaction and personal pride. Knowing that you are committed to your goals and consistently showing up for your daily routine provides a sense of accomplishment, even when larger goals seem far away. This consistent effort gives you the assurance that you are on the right path, and over time, this sense of progress propels you toward bigger milestones. The act of sticking to your routine, regardless of challenges, provides you with a deep sense of satisfaction that boosts your motivation to continue. Routines can also improve your creativity by creating space for it. It might seem counterintuitive, but creativity often thrives within a structured environment. By setting aside regular time for creative pursuits such as writing, brainstorming, or painting, you create a consistent habit that allows your mind to explore new ideas. The more often you make creativity a part of your routine, the more likely you are to experience moments of inspiration. Routine gives creativity the time and space it needs to flourish. A key benefit of routines is that they help eliminate clutter, both physically and mentally. When you have a routine that includes tidying up your environment or organizing your tasks, it reduces the mental burden of living in chaos. Physical clutter can cause distractions and mental overload, so by incorporating simple habits such as cleaning or organizing, you create a peaceful environment that supports focus and creativity. Mental clutter is similarly reduced when you have a clear structure for your day, allowing your mind to stay uncluttered and focused on the present task. Lastly, routines help to enhance self-esteem and confidence. When you consistently follow through with your habits and routines, you build a sense of self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is the belief in your ability to achieve tasks, and it's cultivated by regularly accomplishing small, meaningful actions. As you meet your daily commitments and make progress through your routine, you reinforce your confidence in your ability to achieve your long-term goals. In conclusion, the power of routine and habits lies in their ability to simplify life, enhance productivity, and improve overall well-being. By establishing consistent routines, you create a structure that fosters mental clarity, personal growth, and long-term success. Routines remove unnecessary decision-making, help you stay on track, and provide the consistency needed for meaningful progress. With routines in place, you can focus on what truly matters, make steady progress toward your goals, and live a more intentional, fulfilling life. As you've learned in this audiobook, success doesn't have to be complicated. It's about taking consistent action, embracing imperfection, and staying focused on what truly matters. By stopping the cycle of overthinking and committing to simple, effective steps, you unlock the power to transform your life and achieve your goals. Remember, the only thing standing between you and success is the decision to start. Now that you have the tools to simplify your journey, it's time to take action. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Your success begins with the first step. Take it today.